Let's get it. We live. All right, who we got up first? Let me just make sure everything's running. It's been a minute since I was live, so we'll see who hops on. Hopefully, some of the OGs hop on. And then we're gonna do some algorithms, practice some algorithms with some people live on the stream. It's always fun. Let me check my Discord real quick. And check if this is working. Yo, who's in the chat? Okay, people rolling in. Update, sure. Alright, people starting to roll in. Okay. Nice. Congrats, man. Congrats on passing your Amazon. Yo, with Paul, what's up? Okay, we're gonna run some coding interviews. That's the plan. Like always, I have some questions. Yo, Marty, what's up? Let's fix this up. Yo, what's the process? Is there like a team matching and stuff? It's pretty good so far. Pretty much all I was doing is some of the onboarding stuff. So the question is, would you spend 2.2K on rent to like a 20-30 minute from office, or like 18-hour? How often do you have to come into the office for Amazon? 5 times? I would stay as close to the office as possible. I would stay as close to the office as possible. Every day is crazy. We message who we got up next. Every day, 5 days RTO. That's crazy. How was the interview though? Were you super prepared and stuff? Everything went well? Yo, really, realistically, you're only saving $400 extra to just be right close to the office. That's... Where do you work right now? And when's your last day? Yo, Rob, what's up? Yo, Ricky, what's up?
Yep.
You ready to run some mocks?
Yep.
Let's get it. Your audio's a bit muffly.
Oh, I haven't used Google Meet in a long time. 1 second.
Here, let me come up with the... Were you able to try to fix your audio a little bit? Or just move the mic closer to your face or something?
Is this better?
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit better. Can you say something?
Testing? Hello?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Nice. All right. Yeah, thanks for having me, by the way.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Are you interviewing soon, or you're just practicing?
I'm just practicing.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me get you a coder pad. Or let me
Bet.
What's your background again? Are you a new high or are you a new grad?
No, I'm still a like undergrad student.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Do you go to school in the U.S., Canada?
Canada.
Nice. What school?
Go to York.
Okay, nice. East Coast. That's cool. Had a few York people on the stream already.
Yeah, my friend actually referred me to you.
Nice.
He's like, "Oh, you gotta check out this guy. He does like crazy mocks every weekend." I'm like, "Bet."
That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna send you this thing. Did I run a mock on him?
Yeah, a couple
Nice, nice,
times.
nice, nice, nice. Yeah.
He's yeah.
All right, let's get it. Okay, I'm gonna send you this CoderPad link. I'll send it to you over Discord.
Yep.
Got it?
Mm,
Let me know when you're in.
should be in.
All right, sick. Wait, what's everyone saying? So sweet jobs are safe for a while. I'm trying to career hop after the military. Yeah, I think it's safe. Hyper Ultimate. Hey James, been a while. Nice to see you, bro. Alright, okay, I'm gonna start up this video. Alright. Hey everyone, so today I got a student from York University hopping in. Could you quickly just introduce yourself of like what school you go to, maybe what year you in, how many Leetcode questions you've done, and some of the companies you're targeting, then we can work from there.
Oh yeah, hello. Yeah, thank you for having me. Ricky. I go to York University for computer science. I'm currently a fourth year student, and I guess like right now I'm just generally aiming for any tech company that I think will like help me become like a better or like generally good software engineer. So I'm not too picky in that regard.
Okay, so for you, you're more prioritizing growth over like name or anything like that for your first job.
It's not my first job, but kind of, yeah. I just want to like go to a place that has like kind of clear standards, like clear code reviews, so and also like pays well because after graduating, I don't want to like kind of be unemployed for a while. So
Yeah. Are
that'd be
you
nice.
are you
Yeah.
targeting working in the U.S. or Canada?
I'm fine with either.
And then what internships have you done? Have you done any yet?
I've done a few. I've done like one at a startup and then like a few at the banks.
Nice.
So like they're okay, but yeah, not too much you can really do when like some of them are kind of slow.
Yeah, like the banks, like you're probably like TDs, Scotiabanks and stuff.
Yeah.
How's your job hunt looking?
I haven't applied too much. I mean, I did apply to Capital One recently.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did their code signal yesterday.
Wow.
I did like Q one, two, and three just fine, but I had a typo in Q4, so I couldn't finish it.
I
So
see.
sad.
So, when do you graduate again?
I graduate next year.
Okay. When is that? Like August? Or are you
Uh,
July 2026 kind of thing?
no, kind of like August 2026.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
should. That's good. You're grinding leak code a whole year before you even have to interview. That's good.
yeah.
So
It's kind of on and off though.
things are honestly jobs are gonna start dropping probably in the next few months. Yo, job, what's up? But yeah, a lot of things are gonna be dropping in the last couple months or the next few months. So I would keep looking out for new grad positions even in July and August, honestly, because they're gonna start interviewing people in September and stuff. That's
Hmm.
gonna be their first wave of interviews because they're trying to line people up for May, July, August, right?
Yeah.
So
So,
so right now is the perfect time to lead code for the next 3 months, and then
yeah.
September, October, November you should be doing interviews. If none of those fall through, keep applying, and then hopefully January, February, March you get more interviews and you land those. That's kind of how mine went.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah,
I want to be consistent this time. I've done it before, but I'm not really that consistent.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
how many Leetcode questions have you done?
Um, Pretty much like all of the Leetcode like 150, like the
Wow.
first half of it.
Leetcode only the first half, or so 75 questions?
Yeah, like the kind of like the basic like array, binary search, two pointers, up to like uh, just kind of getting into DP now.
Okay. So let me just walk you. Okay, how are you with arrays?
I think I'm okay. Yeah,
If you had to give yourself a rating out of 10,
I'd say a good like 8.
8. Okay. What about linked list?
Linked list, I'd say like about like a 7 or 8. Yeah,
Okay, you're pretty comfortable with those. What about what about trees?
that's like a 5.
5. What about graphs?
Same thing, like a 5.
What about binary search?
I'd say like a good like 7 or 8 as well.
Okay, pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Let me see. What about more complicated? Well, I guess you said you're not that familiar with trees and graphs. So I would make sure you're very comfortable with trees and graphs because those are probably the most asked questions across all the different companies.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but arrays and linked lists, that's pretty good. Like if you have a handle on those, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. I'm gonna find you some questions based on what you answered here.
appreciate it.
Well, let me look for something. Are you on the stream or just watch or hop off the stream in case you see the question I find?
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, John, what's up? Is that in here? Okay, I'm gonna look up some. Let me look up a couple questions. So, what are you doing this summer? Just chilling?
No, I'm working at like my internship right now at RBC. So
Oh, you're working at RBC. You're doing your internship there right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice, pretty cool. Find you some good questions real quick. Check. I'm gonna go through all my questions at some point and just come up with a list of the best ones. Check. I had a good one. Um, okay, okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start this up. All right, I got the first question. So, yeah, pretty much we're gonna simulate a real interview here. This is an interactive code editor. Feel free to run the code as much times as you like. Feel free to choose the programming language that you're most comfortable with. We're gonna prioritize working code. Walk me through the solution for writing the code. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. And yeah, how's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the first question here. So, yeah, I'll read it out to you real quick. We're pretty much given an array of integers. Wait, let me fix this up. So we're given an array nums of integers where all of the numbers are between 1 and n. We need to return an array of all the integers that are actually missing from that range, right? So you can see this array of nums, 5 and 6 are missing out of here.
Okay.
Example 2 is missing. So yeah, I'll let you go ahead and read that now.
Yeah, seems like relatively straightforward with your explanation too. I guess like one thing that kind of intuitively came to mind is that we kind of track the numbers. We have like another array, for example, where we track if the number has been seen before, or rather if it exists. So for example, like tracking by using their indexes. So for example, the first number is like 4, right? So we just have like a bunch of, maybe we'll just have negative ones to start with. And so if we see the first number 4 in our new kind of storage here, we kind of mark this up as appeared. So like 1. I guess like for visual, just to show it visually, we just have it as 0 here.
Sure.
And then we kind of check for 3. That's also kind of a 0. I'm kind of doing the order wrong, my bad. Doing 1-based indexing. And we kind of go continue the same way for like 2, so this will turn to 0 as well. And so by the end of kind of this storage solution, we run through the array and we kind of check based on their indexes if the number has appeared before. So I guess like for 5, for example, it still stays like negative 1, and the same for 6. So we kind of add that to our resulting array. If that's made any sense.
So this array is gonna track what we've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, if this is 0, that means we saw number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what? We're just gonna loop through numbers? Like what's the algo?
So we'll iterate through this and we'll track the numbers we've seen in the storage array. And then afterwards we'll loop through our storage here and kind of append the ones that we haven't seen yet to our resulting array.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, makes sense.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
And then I guess like I'll do like a second kind of dry run. So for example, like for example 2, we'd have like an array of like length of 2. Yeah, this one. Actually, how do I want to kind of store this? Because it starts from 1. I could just count up to here. So I guess in this case, we iterate through 1, so that means we've seen it. And then we check 1 again. We've already seen it. It's already been set to 0. So that means the only missing number here is 2. So that'll be added to our 2. Yes. Okay, so this is our storage array, the results. And we just want to iterate over the numbers here. So I guess the result storage array should just be 1 times the length of numbers. I'm just thinking right now if I want to do this based on ones or not. I said technically it doesn't really matter.
So why not just booleans then if it's going to be a binary value?
Yeah, that's probably a better idea, yeah. Okay, then we'll just do a boolean and then the results. So I was checking here if it's been seen already. hasn't been seen, then we just want to add that to our resulting array. And this is where we want to have the logic to mark it as seen or not. So
Okay, so we have an array of false. So array n is equal to true. And
yeah.
then, okay, just walk me through. Okay, can you give me a dry run on this code?
Yeah. So it's also dry running in my head. So I'll just dry run the first example again. So we'll just have a bunch of falses. And based on like the first number, so for example, it's 4. That means that in this in our storage array here, we'll update the fourth element to be true.
Okay.
For example, and then we kind of repeat this process as well for the next couple numbers. So if this is 3, this is 2, then we'd also mark this as true here to say like, okay, we've seen 3 before. And then likewise, we mark 2 as well, saying that, okay, we've seen 2 before as well. And we're just going to start at 1 here. So this will repeat for like all the other numbers as well. So up to, I guess like the last number. And we're starting at 1 here because we don't want to kind of count the 0 that we have stored at the start. Because our storage solution is basically still using a 0 indexed array, but the question only wants us to kind of get the range in 1 to n.
Okay. Okay, can you run out some test cases, make sure it's working?
Like dry run again, or
Or like write some test cases. Like print it out or assert it or something.
Oh, okay. Yes. Guessing we're allowing duplicates here. So we'll just have a bunch of 1s as well. Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay, cool. So what's your time and space complexity?
Space and time complexity is both all n, since we use like a storage solution that kind of matches the size of our input array. And time complexity is all of n as well, because we're kind of iterating through every single number. It's technically like all of 2n, but we're simplifying it to all of n.
Okay. So O of n space, O of n time. Can we optimize on space?
Optimize on space.
This is a follow up.
Yeah. Maybe we can use the same array to kind of like mark it if we've seen it or not. So I actually kind of picked up this idea recently from a different question where rather than using our storage array here with booleans to mark the number as seen or not based on the current index, we use the original array and we kind of update the number in that position to be negative. So I guess like an ideal example, I'm just gonna erase this. And I'll just copy this. Is for example, like let's say we want to do the same approach, we want to iterate through our input. And the first number is 4. So in the input array that we've been given, I want to go up to the index of 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at the number 8, which is at index 4, I want to update this to be negative 8.
Sure.
And this works because we're only doing it from 1 to n. So we don't have to worry about any pre-existing negative values.
Yep.
And by setting as negative, it works the same way as like setting it to true or false.
Yep.
So we can iterate through at the end again not to check for booleans, but rather to check for negative values and like append it the same way we have in our res array.
Okay, let's see. Try it out.
So I'll just do something. I guess we want, since we're editing in place, and this is where we want to kind of mark the numbers as negative to be seen. The original array. So nums that I equal to So I'm basically having this condition here to say that if the number's been marked before, we don't need to mark it again. Otherwise, we end up like kind of flipping our values too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do the same thing here where kind of iterate the nums. And we just append the ones that are of greater than 0, which means that they're not negative, so we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
And one. I guess I'll do this.
Let's give it a run.
Yeah, I just need to double check this logic here since this doesn't. That's something with this condition. Oh, well, I'm actually kind of trolling. Right. So I'm not actually like, okay, so there was a problem here where I'm not actually marking the number that I'm seeing to the actual index.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of sort that out. So for example, I've seen, so number 4, just add an I need to update this position somehow. So I guess it'd be, this is same condition here where I don't want to double mark it or else I'll end up flipping values, but I guess this will be nums I, and then
Mm-hmm.
so if it's been marked before, then we don't want to mark it again.
Yeah.
And then I guess the same logic here. Four, yep. And then this is checking.
Looks off.
Yeah, definitely not it. It's definitely I'm checking it here then. So basically saying
Can you dry run it?
yeah.
Like just like do a small example of 1-1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
And like walk me through it line by line. So res starts with empty, and then okay, what are we doing here?
Empty. Then we want to iterate through every single numbers in our array, starting from our first number here. And basically we're saying that at this point we've seen 1. So we want to update in this array at index 1 to be negative. So at nums and then 1, update this to be negative.
So updating this one to be what, negative?
Yeah, because we're doing it by index.
Okay.
And then there's another, the next one, we kind of have a check here. Okay, have we seen this number before? In this case we have, so we don't want to update it twice.
Okay.
Yeah, because then that'll confuse it and basically think that we haven't seen the number, even though we have.
Okay, let's run on this. Let's see. So 1 1. What should that output to? Right.
Yeah, but it's definitely the condition I have here where,
Well,
oh,
it's putting 1.
yeah, it should be outputting 2. So it's
Yep.
definitely the condition I have here where
So,
I'm not marking this correctly,
well, what is this marking right here?
which
Why
is,
is 1 positive here?
um, hmm, it's basically saying that, actually, yeah, wait, actually, I'm actually getting confusing myself. So this should be saying, oh, because we're going based on ones, which means that this should be negative if we're doing, all right, because, sorry, like, let me like re-explain that. So earlier the solution was to have a storage array,
Mm.
which is of size n+1,
Yep.
and that allowed us to kind of keep our 0.
Mm.
And earlier you kind of noticed that there was a 1 here,
Yep.
saying that we skipped that 0.
Mm.
But in this case, because we're using the same input array as we're given, that means that we also have to include the starting number. So we have to include index 0. And that's the piece of logic that I'm missing here, where rather than just marking this as 0 and 1, it should actually just be marking this as a 1 based index, or a 1 based like index array.
Yep.
So I guess because of that, I think I should just be subtracting this. And then checking.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. It's just like an off by 1.
Yeah.
Yep. Messing up the indexing a little bit, but let's see. Should run now. Wait, 2 and 5.
2 and 5.
It's
That's
off.
not right. So that's been updated earlier to.
Oh no, did you change it? Oh wait, let's see.
Oh, I changed the 1 here. My bad. I was like showing it as an example. Should be it? Oh no, no, that shouldn't be it. Yeah.
Wait, 5 is missing. 2 is not missing.
No, 2 is not missing for sure. It's 5 and 6 that are missing from this.
Yep. Okay.
I'm guessing it's bad practice to print out the actual array itself. So, Okay, we're treating this as a 1 based index array by subtracting 1.
Okay, I see. Wait, if
Then
I is
based on this.
so right here, we're adding all the values greater than 0 to the result, or
Yeah, so any value that has been marked as -1 means that we haven't seen it before.
okay.
So we want to kind of add that value, but
Yeah. So how would you debug this? I mean, like,
I definitely, yeah.
try printing it to the nums and just see.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm saying. We've seen 1. For some odd reason, we haven't seen 2. Why? Why is that the case?
Try adding some print statements here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Added too many. Okay.
Yeah, it's something wrong with the way you're marking it.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting tripped up by the indexes.
Yeah.
So kind of printing the
So what is this one? It says, so for the first one, it says
Okay.
7.
Oh, I guess this should technically be this. And then just printing I itself. Because we want to look at the indexes rather than the number itself. Or if I can. Yeah, so I guess our first iteration 4. We definitely want to jump to 7. Yeah, so that should be right. Yeah. We should be jumping to 7 in this case.
Let's just do this. Let's just break. Let's just simplify this. So after the first run, what should be marked?
So 7 should be marked as negative. Yeah.
Okay. What about, let's run it for a few more times, like 5.
I think, yeah, that's not gonna go up to 5, like this.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'll run it. Oh. Okay. So we go up to 2 here. But yeah, 2 is not being marked.
The problem is like you're modifying the array, so when you're trying to like index it later, it could be it's like a -7. Like you're modifying elements of the array. Pretend for the first one, right? For the first iteration. Like for the first iteration, you marked 7 here.
Yeah.
So I think when you get to index 3, you go -7 minus 1. That's -8 or something. So I think you usually take the absolute value of when you try to index here.
Absolute value when I try to index.
Like it's working up until you get to -7 here.
Yeah.
Like you see, for example, after the first run, this is what happens. And then you have a pointer, right? And then when the pointer gets to -7 here, or -4, -3, what's -3? It's right here. Right, -2. But like, okay, what happens here? It's -2 instead of 2. Does that make sense?
-2 instead of 2, and this will be for 3.
Like like you have this loop right here. Right. So you're at length of nums, and this is, pretend I is at index 2. I is at index 2 right here. So it's looking at this value, -2. So what would happen here? Nums I, you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so then, I would have to get the absolute value of this for both cases. Looking at...
Okay, yeah, just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just run it. Okay, there we go.
Nice. Cool. Let's go into the or like write a couple more test cases. I'll get the next question going.
Okay. Seems to be good.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, delete that. Or I'll just throw that to the bottom. So this is the next question. We're pretty much we're gonna be given a grid, and I'll drop the examples here. So we're given a grid of zeros, ones, and twos. Zero just means it's an empty cell. One is it's a fresh orange, and two it's a rotten orange. Essentially, what we need to do is we need to figure out how long it takes until all the oranges are rotten, right? And the only way for something, for basically the only way for a orange to go from fresh to rotten is if it's next to a orange that's already rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like walk through the examples and then clarify there, but.
So 2 is 0 is empty, so we can just ignore this. Oh, okay. So I guess this is like if it's all rotted from the start, or there's just no oranges in general, we'd return -1. But the usual scenario is that we have a rotten orange or a couple rotten oranges. So I guess this could be 2 for like another rotten orange, for example.
Yeah.
And we have kind of like a time lapse to see how long this would take to spread.
Yep. We gotta spread the rotting.
Yeah, the rotten. Okay.
So why is this one 4? Can you simulate it? Or let me know.
Yeah, I'll simulate it. So I guess based on that, since it's 4 directional, by time lapse 2, or should be this. So updates the right and the bottom oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Then based on that, it should also update the next couple of like 4 directionally neighboring oranges.
Mm-hmm.
So update this, and then update this.
Yep.
So among takes time lapse like 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly, you're correct.
Okay. Okay, so I guess like just I don't think that that depth first search is the way to do it, since if there's a case of like multiple rotting oranges, I don't want to just explore one and then leave the other one for later. I kind of want to explore them simultaneously from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if I just went with like DFS and there were like 2 rotting oranges, I'd only be exploring the first one, and that wouldn't give me a proper time lapse of what would happen along with the second one. So if there's multiple rotting oranges at the start or at like a certain stage, I would imagine that I would have to use breadth first search to kind of just go at them simultaneously and level by level, since it only spreads to its neighboring at once, but not kind of in a straight chain of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, based on this dry run, for example, if I were to use breadth first search, then I'd have a queue at the start to kind of say, okay, our first rotting orange is based on like 0 and 0.
Mm-hmm.
In the case that we had multiple, like this will be another one and this will be another one, then I also want to consider those rotting oranges at the same time. So that this will be like 0 and 2, and then this would also be, I guess, like what, 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so for each one, for example, I just want to get their like neighboring oranges. So maybe I'll have something to kind of check all 4 directions. So for example, like an array like -1, say that from the current position, I want to check the left side. The same for the right side. And then top and down as well. So this is 1, this is -1. So for example, if I'm at like our first orange here, I'm going to kind of iterate through my directions here and kind of add these values to whatever rotting orange I'm currently looking at. So for example, like for 0 and 0, I'd be checking 0 and -1. And then basically the same as this direction. Or if I'm looking at 2, I kind of want to look at like 2 and 1. 2 and if anything's out of bounds, I also have to handle it if it's out of bounds. So if I'm handling a running orange in the corner, that means I can only check the left and top oranges. So I definitely want to have like an out of bounds check. So if it's 2 and 3 here, then I don't need to check that. Likewise, if it's like 3 and 2 here, I don't need to check that either. But if it's 1 and 2, which is the orange above it, then I do want to check. So only these two cells are like, or these two like, yeah, these two cells are what I should be checking when I do my breadth first search. If that makes any sense. Am I explaining clearly?
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's just say it. Could you just walk it through at a high level of what the steps of the algorithm are going to be, starting with the input? Like you said a few things, but just want to make sure. Like, let's just say the algo here at the very bottom.
Okay, so the algo is basically we want to iterate our input at the start to kind of get all of our rotting oranges at once.
Okay.
So iterate through all cells and get all the rotting oranges into a queue. And afterwards, we want to implement our breadth first search algorithm to kind of go through our queue. So implement breadth first search to iterate through our queue. And then based on that, we kind of, for every iteration we have in our breadth first search algorithm, when we go through a running orange, we kind of want to check all 4 directions. So check all 4 directions, current, like rotting orange.
Yep.
And also check if I don't consider oranges out of bounds.
Yep. Okay. So one thing would be, how do we know when? How do we count how long it takes for everything to be run?
So I guess as we kind of go through, every time we kind of empty out our queue, for example, or we kind of finish our queue for that level, we want to say like, hey, we've already updated this time lapse and kind of like add +1 to our result.
Okay, cool. All right, that's weird.
I don't know why in Google Meets at least like you're kind of like static-ish at moments.
Yo, chat, can you hear me? Sorry. Wait 1 sec. Wait. I'm gonna pause this. Give me a sec. Holy crap. I'm getting on Google Fiber ASAP. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, so it actually sounds perfect now.
Holy crap. Yeah, kids dropped on my chat.
What happened there?
Is it cutting? It's cutting? It's just like digressed. Like I just saw like my kilobytes per second. Oh, that's crazy. Let's see. Now the viewers dropped. Okay, everyone's coming back on. It's coming back. What was that? Yo, chat, what's up? Thanks for everyone coming back on. Technical difficulties. I'm switching to Google Fiber. That was crazy. Alright. Okay, what I was saying is like go ahead and just implement that code.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Guess I just got this grid. Zero. So this is where we want to get all of our currently oranges.
Yeah, I'm moving to Google Fiber ASAP. This is ridiculous.
I guess collections import oops. And then what is it? It's 2 if it's a rotting orange. Okay, so Q and
Chat, everything is good now, right? You can hear me too, right? When you're...
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. So this should get all our rotting oranges. And then this is basically saying I have not practiced breadth first search in a long time.
Gotta get used to it.
Okay, we're going by level. Don't want to process any new values. It means I want to keep our popping in the same length of our current queue. So we want to get only our current queue, and then we kind of want to go through our queue. So sell, I guess. Okay. So I guess same as earlier, where if we have a queue of 0 and 0, it'll only pop our 0 and 0 here. And I want to add my directions as I had earlier. Just makes it a little easier to see. Okay, now so for our current rotting orange, we want to check all of its directions. So for x, y in directions, we want to see if this is a. I guess this will be a little better. So if this is currently an orange, we're going to rot that orange. If there's nothing there, then we just kind of ignore it. So that's keeping it in the station. So dot the current neighboring orange. And we repeat that for all of our oranges in our cell. And kind of at time. Is time always at 0? It should be. Wait, does our time start at 0? Yeah, I'll just have it at 0 for now. I'm pretty sure it starts at 0. So every time we update our oranges, we also want to update our time.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. I need to go through like my breadth first search implementation since I don't remember doing breadth first search.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so yeah, for So go through the oranges at the current time.
Can you index out of range?
Oh right, yeah. I have to check if they're if they're in range. So if r is greater than or equal to 0. Guess I'll just compress this to make it also a little easier to read. Check for current neighbor, check out of bounds. So check out of bounds, and then if the current neighboring orange is there, we kind of route that by adding it into our queue. And the scaling elements from our solution. I don't think I am. Oh, sorry. Plus X. That should do it.
Creating a loop, infinite loop.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Strange. Oh, if we visit it before, we don't want to revisit our routing orange because we're checking all 4 directions.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll have a visited set.
Like,
and then
is there a way we could do that without creating a set?
Without creating a set?
It's the same thing, but like.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe like the same as earlier, where we kind of mark it as negative. Yeah. So I guess.
Or just mark it as a 2, or it's rotten now, right?
Mark it as a 2?
Because 2 means it's rotten.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Getting 5.
That's not right. Log is 5.
What's a quick, easy way to debug this? Like, how do you debug it?
I guess I can print my current queue and time to kind of see the status of my oranges.
Or you print the grid?
Alright, oh yeah, alright, print the grid.
You get messy.
Oh. Yep, so that makes sense. This isn't updating though. Yeah, why was that updating? Check left, check right, upwards and downwards. This is not being added in.
Right. Wait, this is row and column?
Yeah.
So this actually checks up.
Oh. Alright, check up, check down, check right, check left.
Yep, that looks good. Where else could be wrong?
We're checking for ones here, so that should be fine. We're doing it by adding our directions. Let's see. We're marking the ones we've seen. Yeah, when you append this should have also been added. So why is this not? Oh, I also have to add these, I think, because we're not looking at the current cell, we're looking at the directional ones. So then run this. Still 5, but okay, we are visiting them properly now. How's this continuing if our queue is empty?
So it starts at 0. Maybe just print right here at the time.
Oh, that's okay. Doesn't make any difference.
So
Probably
after
not.
1 iteration is this. After 2 iterations, after 3, after 4, it runs 1 more time. What is it doing?
I'm also gonna print the queue if that's okay.
Yeah.
Queue in time. Wait, what?
Oh, I see.
Oh. Just checking this last 2 and 2.
The off by 1 issue again.
I'm not sure if subtracting 1 from the time would actually be the proper way of doing this.
Okay, so what's happening here on the first one? After 1 iteration is 1. After the second iteration is 2. The third. After the fourth, it's, but Q is a 2. Q is a 2 2, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense why it's running 1 more time, because pretend we have 2 and 2.
Yeah.
If there's nothing rotting after that, like 2 2 will run. But at that point, everything's already rotten on that last iteration.
Yeah, maybe we want to have a condition here where we check once we have gone through all of it. Or, yeah, in this like condition here, if rn is greater than 0, time plus equals 1, to say that we have rotting oranges and we already went through them.
Well,
otherwise, if
this is still gonna work, right? Or this is still gonna increment it. Let's run 5 here. Because, for example, do you see the very last run? It says 2. The DQ is 2 and 2. Right. That's the very last element. Because we still need to check the last element, even though we flipped it to a 2. Everything's 2 at that point. But we don't know if everything's... What if there's like another thing in the right corner? One more to the very right of that one. In that case, it's not, but... I mean, if we know that that's the case, we could always just start this by -1. That would work, but...
Or just, or subtracting it.
Yeah, you're just subtracting 1.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was like the right way of doing it. I'm trying to think of edge cases that might be against that.
There are cases where your algorithm still won't work.
Yeah, like there's like a...
What if we have a bunch of... What if we have a grid like this, right? And then we have 0 and we have 1 here. So what happens here? What should be the result here?
Shouldn't this also be 4?
Well, how is this one ever gonna rot?
It has nothing to spread to.
So after your algorithm runs, it's gonna do this. It's gonna return 4, right? Yeah. But it should actually return -1.
Oh.
So it's impossible for that fresh orange to ever rot.
I see. Yeah.
So it's like, how would you catch that case?
That's the case. I mean, I guess one way of doing it, which is to just iterate over the array again to check if we have any oranges left.
Yep, that's one way.
And then maybe the other way of doing it would just be maybe we could just like kind of flip the approach instead of going for rotting oranges at the start. We go for fresh ones and we basically see if it's like next to a rotting orange. And if it is, then we don't keep that in our next like time lapse.
I think your other way works where we just do one more loop, or we could just count up how many rotting oranges are when you do the loop, your very first loop, and subtract from that, or how many fresh oranges.
Yeah.
So if you had a fresh oranges count, like start at 0, and then here, if it's fresh, you increment it,
Yep.
and then whenever you convert something from a rotting to a fresh, you decrement it, and then finally, if the fresh is greater than or equal to 0, then you return time. Otherwise, you return -1.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one other way. Um, yeah, but overall, you solved the question, most of it. Just that one edge case. How do you think you did?
Oh yeah, I definitely need a lot of improvement, especially with how I'm explaining it. I'm like kind of lagging behind how I can like consistently explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because yeah, I guess like the idea of the interview is normally also to have you on board with what I'm thinking. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most of like or how I'm explaining it is only meant for like me to understand. So I'm not exactly explaining in a way that both of us would understand at the same time. I
Mm-hmm.
also just need to improve on like the way I dry run things or like the way I debug it.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely like the next case kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't properly debugging it as I should.
Yeah.
So I think like yeah, I got too much help there,
Mm-hmm.
as well as like this case where I wasn't sure about like just setting time to -1 or just returning time to -1. In
Yeah.
that case, though, I'm not really sure what to do there, apart from like maybe just practice and intuition. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the solution is just -1ing off of it,
Oh,
because you know in the last iteration that the last iteration is always you don't want to count it usually.
yeah.
It's
Should
like
be like the last rotting cell, but I
yeah,
wasn't too sure on that. Yeah.
but yeah, I think honestly the way you explained it was good. I don't have any issues with the way you explained it. I understand
Oh,
both your approaches. So I'll walk you through what I thought of first the question. The first question, you talk everything was good. You talked through the solution well. You talked about the solution before implementing it. You did dry run the code, but your dry run could be better. For example, when you did your dry run, you weren't even referencing the actual code. You were just like you were just simulating it in the comments, but you need to prove to me that your code works. So you need to step line by line and then update the comments based on how the code is running, right? Because you can go in the comments and just say that it's working and just like simulate it in the comments, but your code was doing something else.
yeah.
So I would just so the way I do it is I go line by line and then I update my comments as I go line by line, right? Or I,
Oh, okay.
I I simulate the variables while I go line by line, kind of thing. But I think overall you're good at coding. You know how to code. It's just you just with the off by ones, you were just messing up. So yeah, you're messing off with the off by ones, and the only way to solve those off by ones is like when you're practicing, don't just try to like finesse it or tinker with it until it works. Actually, try dry running it and figuring out why it's breaking. Right?
Yeah, definitely dry run to debug
Yeah,
rather than just debugging by tinkering.
yeah, because like that I used to do it like that too. I would just it wouldn't work. So I'll be tinkering with it, and then finally it would work. But in an interview, that's like the worst way to do it in an interview. In an
Yeah.
interview, if somebody saw an issue and then they dry run it, and then they caught the issue, that would be plus points for me. Versus if they just tinkered in it and then suddenly it's working, like, oh, nice. I mean, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
because
You
it,
know what I mean?
yeah. It looks like you're guessing pretty much like what I did.
You want to be methodical with it because
Mm.
you even saw that you weren't being methodical with it. That's why it took you longer to find it. But then when I was like, when you watch this over, when I was like, okay, run it line by line, and then print out some of the stuff, right? And then you found it way faster.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
once you actually were dry ran it better, you figured it out. I think with the way you debug too, you didn't think to just do print statements and stuff. I think with the just working on when to write the right print statements to
Okay.
debug it. But overall, I think the way you coded it was good.
Yeah.
There was
That's,
just a small issue with it,
yeah.
but 95% of the code worked, but it would just break on edge cases. So I think you're pretty close. It would just be ironing out that last little bit of making sure you can dry run the code and making sure you could write code that's bug free.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
But your process was good. I think the way you ran the interview was perfect. You just need to, yeah, be able to
Try
dry
it
run the
now.
code better. So just I wouldn't change too much on how you explained it. I understood everything you were kind of saying there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My notes
Yes.
were pretty much just needs work on debugging.
Yeah.
The debugging skills could improve. That was pretty much my notes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
Um, Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the only thing I have a question is like when to kind of do this stuff because I heard that like if you use print statements during like an actual interview, that's like minus points.
Yeah. It depends on the company you're interviewing for. So for some companies, when they tell you prioritize working code, most startups and stuff, doesn't matter if you print. That's most engineers actually print. I even use print statements to this day too. I use the debugger for sure, but if I'm in a coding interview, you don't want to use a debugger. Just throw proper print statements. In companies maybe like Google, like and Meta, or ones that don't let you run it, then you actually have to dry run the code. So it all depends on the interview you're doing. But those companies, they don't prioritize working code the same.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I
didn't know
would
that.
say it depends on if they say that if they allow you to run the code, just do print statements, honestly. But you should ask. I wouldn't just. That's the way I
Yeah.
run them. Like most of the time when I was running interviews back in the startups, I would just say just feel free to run the code and write print statements. I want you by the end of this interview to have code working because I'm only gonna pass you if you have working code.
Oh, okay.
So it all depends on the company, but either way, like when you run into a bug when you're lead coding, you're not using print statements, or
I do. I just
okay,
don't know if it's like for interview settings. That was the only thing that stopped me really.
oh, okay, I see. I mean, yeah, it's a good point, but since we're prioritizing working code,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
cool. All right, thanks for taking the time out. That was a good job.
Yeah. No, appreciate it. Thank you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me
It
know
was
if you
really
want to do
helpful.
another one again soon, because yeah, I want to get you right for your new grad when you're
Sure.
graduating.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
All
Thank you very much. Yeah.
right, catch you, man.
All right.
Peace.
Later. Peace.
Yeah, they don't let you run the code. How do you know you didn't mess up? Well, you dry run the code and you prove to them that the code that you write is working. That was a good session. That was a really good session. Okay, who do we got next? We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna get Cyclops in. Cyclops, you ready to jump in 10 minutes early? Okay, let me take a quick break, and then we'll get into this. Okay. Do a quick 5 minute break.
Yeah, I think so.
What's up? What's up?
All right, sorry, I had to stream. I didn't know if I could like hear you or not.
How's the job hunt?
I mean, it's not going like disgustingly terrible. I have like I've gotten replies from I think two or three companies, like doing me for interviews. I did a phone screen with one HR person from a company called Fathom, and she basically asked me about my experience and stuff, and then I got rejected like 2 days later.
Bro, that's
But
whack.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just it's like Fathom Healthcare.
Wait, where are you
Uh,
based?
I'm based in Kentucky right now.
And then where do you want to work? Like, does it matter?
Uh, I mean, preferably remote, but if not remote, probably either like Seattle or Boston or Texas. I don't think I want to live in the Bay Area. I don't think I'd like it very much there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not definitely not for everyone. And there's a bunch
Yeah,
of weird stuff going on. But
yeah.
you want to work remote. What's your degree?
Uh, Computer science and engineering.
And you want to work data roles specifically?
I mean, honestly, I don't really have a preference. It's just that all of my experience right now is in data roles. So, except for like, I could probably spin the software engineer thing I did at Equifax. I could spin that off as like not data role. Like, I have knowledge of non-data stuff. It's just most of my experience is data roles. So I feel like it's probably easier for me to get into data roles at this
I
point.
see. Wait, let me look at your resume. Your resume is good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just like not passing through ATS or what. Like I get rejected a lot and get ghosted like more. I
Okay.
don't know if it's just because I only started applying in like middle of December and my resume until right after Christmas was like pretty bad. I chat GPT to make it a lot better, I think,
Yeah, let me
in
look.
terms of the formatting and stuff. And I like used an app like I didn't it was funny because the resume template I used before had terrible like dates and stuff. Like the dates were just wrong.
Yeah.
So I fixed it all after Christmas. And I don't know if it's just because I've only been applying for like basically 2 weeks of people actually working. And it's also like right after the holidays, so people are, waiting a little bit, or if it's just like backlogged or what. I don't know if that's it,
You're
but
looking for
not
internships
sure.
or full time? Because you
Full
graduate.
time.
Oh, okay. Are you doing the online masters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
sick.
part time.
Is it hard?
Uh, I mean, I've only done it for one semester. I took a class called algorithms, like GA, graduate algorithms, and I took machine learning for trading.
Oh, wow.
Machine learning for trading was like pretty easy. It was just a lot of writing, and GA, in my opinion, was not that hard because I'm good at algorithms, but like there's a bit of an issue where they were accusing a bunch of people of cheating and like sending them to OSI, which is like the office where they, do academic integrity complaints and stuff, and they sent like 300 people to OSI this semester.
That's
So
crazy.
I got a 0 on two homeworks,
No
and
way.
I ended up getting a B in that class, unfortunately.
And they're accusing you of cheating even though y'all weren't even cheating?
Yeah, they were saying everyone was using ChatGPT on the homeworks because it was basically they gave us a problem, and
Yeah.
it was like a divide and conquer problem, right?
Huh.
It was majority element if you're familiar,
Hmm.
but they basically gave us that, and anyone who used a tournament algorithm basically got sent to OSI because they didn't teach it in the class. But it's really weird because, most of the people in there have grinded Leetcode, so everyone knows what a tournament algorithm is.
Bro, that's dumb.
Yeah,
So,
but what can you do?
yeah. I think your resume is good. Let's see. data engineer, contracts off. Why not just put just straight up software engineer here instead of contract?
Well, technically, I wasn't working like at Equifax. It was through a contracting agency,
I
so I
see.
just don't want them to like think that I was lying when they do a background check.
I see. I see. Okay. Yeah. You should put your projects on here too. If you did anything in school, do the projects. And did you do a bunch of leadership stuff? It looks like you probably did that during school based on like all the stuff here.
Not really. I did one cool project. It was like a bin packing algorithm in
Nice.
college. I thought it was pretty cool. It was like using a we use like a heuristic in order because bin 3D bin packing is considered NP hard.
Mm.
So we had to like come up with a solution that was better than what human because it was basically humans packing bins manually. So we just had to come up with a solution that was better than that.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, you should add a project section here.
Yeah, I mainly haven't because I just don't have room, but I was thinking I could take off like my tutoring and my because like the student or I could just combine those all into one. Like all of because all of those are at my school, my bachelor's. Like the state school ones are all at my bachelor's
Yeah.
school. And one of them was like database developer, so I basically like did a contract with them so made a I made a database for them.
Mm.
And then the other two were tutoring and grading calc.
Yeah. Okay.
So I could like combine all those
So
or just remove them.
what are some good projects that you've worked, or just tell me about all the different projects you did, and then let's figure out some to throw in here because you do have space. Look, between these, if you start crunching some of this little space, you'll get a lot of. For,
Well,
for
that's all single spaced. I don't think I can actually crunch that more.
yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you. What do you use to?
I just use Google Docs.
Yeah, for Google Docs, I'll show you how to do this. Um, because I use Google Docs as well, and you can crunch this space right, like in between these. If you highlight it here, let me bring it up on a separate tab.
Okay.
I'll show you one of my resumes and how to format it because you kind of need as much content there as possible. Obviously, you
Yeah.
still have a lot of space at the bottom, and you don't want it to look too cluttered because
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just don't want it to like be unreadable.
yeah, but
Also, I combined that one point on my first experience. I combined that to one line because
nice.
that was just from changing the font that happened.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I remember yours. Like you switched the font before, and then
Yeah, I switched from Times to Arial.
okay, I'll quickly show you how I handle spacing. Mine looks a bit cluttered, but nobody really complained about it. But like here, I'm up. Yours is single space here, and the moment I start doing
Hmm.
that, you'll see I'll start getting into like the one page territory.
Oh, so you do like custom point four.
Yeah, so I custom because this is quite a bit of space, right? It's kind of a waste of space. You can experiment dropping the space here to, and obviously I can make it even smaller, but you want to also make it readable. And I found that zero point 0.4, it depends on your resume, but you can play around with the space to get it smaller than one and reduce some of that white space that you had there to make room for some of the other ones.
Yeah, and if anything, I could remove like the interest thing because the interest thing is kind of just like obviously Chat GPT. No one really
Right.
probably cares about that.
Skills and interests.
I mean,
Oh
not the
yeah, remove
skills,
that
but like
interest.
the interest thing.
I did that. I used to do that, and it never. I used to do that for the first 2 months of my resumes, and then I just saw people like no one ever does that. Even when I look at
Yeah,
resumes at
yeah, no one
work.
really cares about like interests because it's probably just gonna be fake.
Did you check out this how to build a resume thing? This is
Yeah, I
literally the
did.
best one that I've seen. So like you're structuring it the right way. They didn't. No one ever has like a section on like you mentioned. So I would remove that. What I would also do, one thing I would try also, and it's all a trial and error. You've only been applying for 2 weeks, and that's I wouldn't expect anything back in just 2 weeks, honestly.
Yeah,
Especially,
that's what I was thinking. Because like, especially because it's the new year, I feel like it'll probably be like maybe like in February I'll start
yeah.
getting more replies. I'm not like super like stressed yet. I
So
also don't like need to stress that bad because I'm not like unemployed or anything. I'm
yeah,
just like looking for a better role.
I see. So there's this one recruiter who's I was talking to this one recruiter who's recruiting at Citadel, and they're trying to help me build a better resume. And one of the things that they told me, especially if I'm looking for tech roles, is to make the resume more tech focused. So make the bullet points like strong, very technically, like more tech
Uh-huh.
focused, and also add some of the languages and technologies that you did for
Yeah, and like
on the bullet
parentheses,
points.
like I see you're doing here.
Because I have this language and technologies. That's just an overview of everything that I learned. But some of the bullet points only include some of those technologies. So, for example, in my new job, I'm doing a bit more Python and Django. So, Python and Django are up here, but then they could see which projects I specifically did in Python and Django. And then they
Yeah,
also,
makes sense.
and then some of the things are like Java. So, they could kind of see all the different projects I did and what languages I used in it. So I could let me send you over a bunch of good resumes because the person sent me like four really good resumes from people who were able to land hedge fund jobs. And that's kind of how I structured
Yeah,
my resume. I'll send that over to you. Just remind me. But
yeah, for sure.
I haven't even looked at the chat in a minute. What are people saying? Let's see.
Uh, yeah, it's like one guy saying to add a templates or add a project section. Yeah,
Yeah, add a project section.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if I should like all those three experiences at the same place. I feel like I should like combine them somehow, but I feel like it's kind of hard because they're all very different jobs.
Yeah. Honestly, I have more jobs here than this, but you need to figure out what to cut in and cut out. And what you need to cut in and cut out also depends on the role you're applying to.
Hmm.
So if I'm applying for a hedge fund or I'm applying to a FANG or I'm applying to a startup or I'm applying to a machine learning company, I'm swapping in and out certain jobs and projects. So I have a big ass resume that has all of my jobs and then all of my projects. And then based on where I want to apply for, I would like slim it down to one page by removing some work experience and removing some projects. But then all for your
Yeah,
projects also have links to the GitHub so that they could easily see what it is and stuff.
yeah. I mean, a lot of my projects that I've done, like, I haven't like done too many independent projects, really. All of my projects are like through school and stuff.
Yeah, that's perfect though. Me as well. When I
But like,
was
I'm
hiring,
not allowed to public the repo for a lot of those
oh
though.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I would make sure to have like some project in here, preferably something that's like a full stack project because full stack projects show you can kind of work around the stack. You can work on the front end, the back end, the infrastructure. You kind of understand everything end to end. And that really helps with landing your first job because during your first job, most of the time they're looking for people who are generalists unless you're working for a
Hmm.
very specific unless you're trying to get a job a very specific role. Most of the time generalists usually are the most safe hires. So having projects that shows you can work across the stack are I found really helpful for landing interviews because it also like I was mentioning this before, but pretty much like getting jobs, if you think of jobs as like a funnel, like a sales funnel, but basically a job funnel, you want to increase the top of the funnel. And how you do that is by increasing the surface area of what you know. So that can help you get in the process. So to increase the top of the funnel, definitely have breadth in a lot of your projects. Or yeah, have breadth in a lot of your projects so that probably the ATS might pick you up easier. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I guess that's another reason I was what do you call it? I was I mean, to be honest, I wasn't like applying for web dev jobs or any of that, like anything with front end, because I don't really like I don't I can do JavaScript, I just don't like it, so I just haven't been applying for those. But I could see how like having that knowledge could be useful for back end jobs as well.
Yeah, especially if it's a side project, because it really shows that you. Because sometimes I've worked with data people too, and if they only know data, I feel like the most productive ones kind of understand the product as a whole. Because when you're working, for example, when you're working on Equifax and you only know how to like run data science techniques on like the you should definitely
Yeah,
think of your
especially if you don't
career
go
in
to a
like
target school.
yeah, exactly. You need to think of it in steps as well. Like the
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking like hopefully I can get into like something that's at least adjacent to the field I want to be in, and then I can hopefully like it'll be easier for me to break in than from a healthcare company.
exactly. No, that makes a lot of sense. Because I think the other guy yesterday he really just wants to break in Fang right away, and you can't really control that. If I if I was him, if I didn't get in Fang, I would just figure out ways to set myself up to get in Fang. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
like beat myself up if I can't get that right away. So I think what your mindset here is more balanced, and I think that it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd want to be in Fang just because of like the story. Like, I think I'd rather be in more of a fintech company or like maybe a quant role if I ever got cracked enough to do that. But like, I don't think I'm cracked enough to be in a quant role right now because I'm like my C++ is definitely really rusty.
You could do
But
a lot of jobs are hiring Python a lot more. When I was the chat, holy, I just munched out. Yeah, I got the boneless meal deal. Alright, we got Cyclops next. I don't even know. I just random, bro. Random. Random. Appreciate it. Let me know if you ever want to come on one. Yo, chat, how's the audio, by the way? Audio is good? Y'all can hear me? Alright, Cyclops, I'm gonna send you a link. Get access to this link. Join the Discord and just let me know. Let me know when you want one. Yeah, hop in the Discord. I just literally ping people. I was like, yo, who wants to join in? Cyclops, I just sent you. We're ramping this up. Cyclops, I sent you the CoderPad link and the link to the Google Docs. Cyclops, what's up? How you feeling?
Yeah, what's up?
You ready? Get it.
Yeah, I am feeling. I'm kind of sick right now, so I kind of sound like a little bit like I have nose plugs, but you
No
know what?
worries.
It's all right.
Why are you grinding on Mother's Day? Grinding on algorithms.
I celebrated Mother's Day like yesterday mainly. Like I went to dinner yesterday, so today I'm just kind of chilling. I just got her
Nice.
like some flowers, and I'm
Nice.
just chilling right now. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in school, right? Or what's your background again?
yeah. I'm doing my master's in software engineering right
What school again?
now at Stevens
Oh yeah,
Institute.
oh yeah. That's the one in what's it called? New Jersey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sick, sick, sick.
I'm joining the coder pad right now.
Yeah, I'm just remembering it. All right, let's get this. Wait. All right, give me like 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. Grab something. Be right back.
Let's see. Uh,
All right, I'm back. Chat. How does everything sound? Yo, Cyclops, hop off the stream just so you don't see the question that I chose.
yeah, no, no.
Okay, good.
I have it like in the background. I just muted everything,
Okay, sick.
so I'm chilling. Okay.
Chat, how's the
Okay.
audio? Wait, let me check. Let me check it myself real quick. Got the flu or something?
It's just like the cold and the allergies are really hitting hard this year.
What's the
So,
weather like over there?
it's pretty nice. It's been a bit rainy here and there, but and it's a lot of pollen, so that's what's really been killing me.
I see. I see.
Yeah, but overall it's nice out. It's like nice and sunny, so. So,
Okay, perfect. Audio's looking good. All right, get this working. All right, I'm gonna start a video. Hey everyone, so today I got a student from the university or students or Stevens Institute of Technology out in New Jersey. This is actually his second time coming on in the last. What did we do it last week or the week before? Your last.
it was it's like the week before. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
So going for round 2, I think you did really well in the last one. So it's
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said I'm gonna just ramp it up on you. We're gonna go a little.
Yep.
So what did I ask you last time?
So last time you asked me, can place flowers and number of islands.
Okay.
Yeah.
And please flowers. Wait, let me see how fast you did number of islands. Is it?
Yeah, I think you told me that I need to work on just like writing that
Everyone?
the code faster because it's been a while since I did like BFS or anything like that on the Matrix. So.
Well, yeah, you took 20 minutes? Not bad. 20, 18. Yeah. 20 minutes on number of islands. Alright. What have you been doing since? Have you been practicing at all?
Yeah, so like I've just been looping every week. Like I've been looping like the data structures, like studying them like every day. So I kind of have like a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the new week, like I go back to square one, like day one. And then I just do that like yeah. Yeah. So today I did like a couple questions on like trees today, and then tomorrow I did my matrix questions again, and then I go back to arrays next week
Cool.
or like on Wednesday, I think. Yeah.
Nice. What was your goal again? When do you graduate and like why are you working so hard?
So I graduate next December, like 2026,
Okay.
and right now my goal is
So
more
right
just
before
kind of like
2027? So
yeah,
basically you're
exactly.
looking for jobs in May 2027 or January 2027, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like yeah, right now my primary goal is just like to land some internships like either in the summer or like in the off season like in fall or something like that. With like some like mid like range companies like I'm kind of like my goal is kind of like to get into like Datadog or like
Oh yeah.
MongoDB or like something of that nature. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah, nice. I feel like for those companies, they don't really ask leak code. They but like these skills still translate, I would say.
Yeah, actually, so I had an interview with Mongo back in October,
Mm.
and I got smoked
They just
because
straight
I
ask
was
you
like,
leak code?
yeah, it was just
Oh
leak code.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
they
so
just
cool.
asked me to leak code. It was like a very basic question. It was kind of embarrassing, but like at the time, I kind of I wasn't really like studying leak code.
Yeah.
So after that happened, I started like really focusing on that.
Yeah.
So,
So
uh,
are you try what when are you going for your next internship?
so like, what am I applying for? Like,
Yeah.
when do I want to do it?
Like when are you
Uh,
applying? Have you been getting any interviews upcoming?
not really, to be honest. Well, I was trying to get one for the summer this summer, and I kind of I do have like something lined up, like in an internship lined up for this summer, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like with this like startup like company, and now I'm still like prepping though because I want to like be ready for the fall like applications.
I see. All right,
Uh,
perfect. All right, let's get
yeah.
into some. Let me look for some questions for you. Let's
All right.
see.
All right.
With slightly harder difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah. Be interesting to see how I do on those.
Right, Q. What's up? What's up? You did the end queens question.
Oh, no shot. I
Oh,
saw it and I didn't even try it because I know it was like kind of out of my league. Like I haven't really like I don't even know like what the intuition is or like kind of the method to solve that, but I'm gonna assume it has is something in the realm of like
yeah.
dynamic programming or just like I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, I didn't even try it.
You looked at it just right
Yeah, I
before.
did like I just like read it over. Yeah, I've seen it before. And I don't really like understand it either
I see.
after reading it. Yeah. That one's like a bit rough for me, but
Are you familiar with backtracking? You practice that?
very briefly, like last week I actually like I just started like getting into backtracking.
I
So
see.
I understand like the theory on backtracking, but I've only done maybe like three or four like questions on backtracking like for like small practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna post in the question and let's see. So this is the first question. One sec.
Right.
So we're given the root of a binary tree. Check whether it is a mirror of itself, symmetric around the center, and come into the drawing mode so I can show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll show you example 1. So we have like 1, 2. This is symmetric. Right there. That's symmetric. So we should return true here.
Okay, I understand.
This right here is symmetric. This is true. I'll show you something that's not symmetric. This should return false.
Okay. All right. So, just right away, like, what I'm thinking we could do to solve this is, well, will there always be like, will there be a case where like we're just not given any like, where we're just given like a single node, right? Like, let's say just like without any children, it's just like one node. Is that like considered symmetric, or
Like
will we
you
ever
just
be
get
given?
you just get one, right? Like this.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
What do you think? Is this symmetric?
I would say yes. I would
Yep.
say
Yep, you're right.
so.
So we could assume that we're given at least one node, and if it's just one node, it's symmetric. So this should
Okay.
return true.
Okay, and if we're given like, but we will always be given like at least one node, right? So
Yeah.
we won't ever be like empty right
Yeah,
off the bat.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So, so right away, like I guess one way we could solve this. So I'm gonna go back to like the code editor. Like there's some pseudocode here. So we definitely want to like traverse down the tree to check like and like we want to check both sides like simultaneously. So like if we have like we have like 2 2, and then let's see like 3 3 3 3, let's just say. So like I want to check like simultaneously level by level. That's like my immediate thought process. And I just want to compare like the current, like the nodes that we're looking at. So like, so for like the very beginning, like let's say I want to check the left child and the right child of this root node.
Yeah.
And I want to see, okay, if this left child and this right child, well, if they are not equal, then we just return false right away. Like, right?
Yeah.
If for some reason like well, if they are equal, then I want to continue like traversing, and I want to add like I want to go through the next level, right? And I want to like compare these children. And I guess like the weird thing is like kind of like, so I want to compare like the left child of 2 to the right child of this 2, right? So it's kind of like in that sense, and then this right child to this left child. I think like you could do this like recursively pretty easily. But like I'm actually like trying to wrap my head around like how I could do this recursively like in code. Let me just think for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think for this specific question, I personally like would prefer to do just because like my head's kind of like wrapped around this like idea that I kind of have to do it level by level, and to me that kind of gives me the idea of like doing like a breadth first search, and usually like breadth first searches for like trees are like done iteratively.
Mhm.
So instead of doing like a normal like DFS and like doing it like recursively, I'm gonna try and do this iteratively, and how it's gonna look is it's gonna look something like this. So in pseudocode, it's gonna look like, so if the current like, so we first like have our base case, which is like if the current root is like non-existent, right? Existent, and we just like we return like true, right? That means like we kind of like we don't have anything, or like we were just like a leaf. And how I want to do this like iteratively is I think I want to use like a stack. So we're gonna have like we're gonna initialize a stack, and what this stack is gonna take, it's gonna take like this. So since like I can always assume that I'm gonna be given like a root, I'm gonna take like the left and the left child like and the right child, let's say. So we'll say like, and we'll put this like in its own like, I guess this could be like a tuple as well, but I'll do it as like a list. So this could take like the left child and the right child like at the very beginning of like our root.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do like a normal like iteration, like iteration like traversal. So like while the stack like exists, we can say like we can pop from the stack, and since we're popping like this like these two elements of like this list here, we have to unpack it like into two different variables. So we can say like left like node and right node is equal to the pop of the stack, right? And here we can compare like these two nodes. So we're comparing these two nodes, and we're gonna say, so if so I think right away we can say like if like left node is not equal to right node, then we can return false. And if otherwise, if the left node is equal to the right node, then I want to take the children of these like nodes, and I want to like append them to the stack, right? So I want to say like I want to like stack append, and then we're gonna like put it into like a list like this, and we're gonna say and what I mentioned earlier is that I'm comparing this left node to this right node, so I have to make sure that like I'm doing that properly. So I want to append the left node dot left and the right node dot right. And then you also want to like, we can also like append like the like vice versa, right? So we can append right and then left like this. And then let me just double check that I'm not missing anything.
Yep.
So
I think overall the strategy looks good. You go ahead and implement that one.
Yeah, so yeah, and if the stack is ever empty, then we just return true. So let's just go ahead and let's just do like what I have so far. So so we can define check sim, and we're taking like, can I assume like I'm given the like the class, like the tree node class already?
What does that class look like?
So usually the class, so it looks like, so I have this class and I initialize it, and it takes a value which is like just going to be 0, it takes a left, which is just gonna start with none, and the right one is also gonna be none. And we can like initialize these parameters to just like with itself. So self dot self dot left is left, and self dot right. Okay, so I think this is like usually how it's initialized. So from here, let's just see. So we're given a self, and let's just say like given a root, and okay, so if not root, then we can return true. And then we can initialize our stack like we said earlier, and we can take root dot left and root dot right. And while the stack like has elements in it, we can unpack like this pop. So we can say node left and node right is equal to stack.pop. Okay. And then so if node left, the value of node left is equal to the value of the right one, then we can further append like their children to the stack. So we can say, so we can do node left dot left and then node right dot right, and then we can actually take this and it's just going to be like a mirror. So we can do like node left dot right and node right dot left, and else if node left is dot val is not equal to node right dot val, then we can return like false right away. And if the stack like ends up being empty and we just exit this like while section, then I can return like true. I might be missing like some edge cases, I feel like, but I think like right away this is like the basic idea.
Okay. I mean, let's run it.
Okay.
Or I mean, not run it. Let's dry run it.
Okay. So like let's use this like case here that I have up here, right? So I'm gonna put like more comments down here. So we start at 1. So if not root, right, which is not true, so we don't execute these lines, and then we move on to the stack. So we append. Right now the stack is going to look like this at the very start, 2 and 2, because we're taking this left child and this right child, we're appending it.
Yep.
So while stack, so our stack currently looks like this. It looks like this, right? So we unpack 2 and 2, and we remove it from the stack, and we say if node left is if 2 is equal to 2, then we're gonna take this node dot left, so 2 of left, which is 3, and node right of right, which is also 3. We're gonna take these two far left and far right 3s. We're gonna append it like this.
Yep.
And then we're also gonna take the other inner 3s, and we're also gonna append it
let's
like
do
this.
like for example, you could.
Okay.
So
yeah. So
this is better, I think.
So we can do 4 4 and then 5 5. Yep. And then so then the stack still has elements, so we're gonna unpack this 5 because we're popping from the top of the stack, and we're gonna say, well, the 2 5s are equal. So we're gonna append. Oh well, I guess like. Huh. Well, if they are equal, then we append. No, that left. Would that just like append? Like, would it just be like this? Just curious. Yeah, actually, like I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably what's gonna happen.
Okay. Okay. And then so it would do none and none, and then it would also do none and none like this. So okay. And then we're gonna like pop from the stack again, and we're popping none and none, and it's gonna keep doing it over and over again, I think. So I think what we can do to do this is so I can add
Is
like
it gonna do it over and over? Or it's gonna crash.
actually it might just crash. I think it might just crash actually. If it tries like unpacking this.
Or like what happens on line 38 if it's null?
If null is equal to null, well,
Or
just get
or
we
null
just
dot val.
oh well, null doesn't have like yeah, okay, yeah. I think it just crashes because that's like it throws you an error here.
Yeah, no
Like a
pointer
null dot val.
exception.
Yeah. Okay. So I think to prevent that from happening, we can actually so I can add another if statement here, and I can say if these are nuns, right? So if not node left and not node right, then I can just move on. Like I don't want to look through these nodes because I know they're nothing. So I'm going to continue to like the next like portion of my stack.
Sure.
Which is just going to be none again. It's going to execute this, so it's going to continue. So it's going to get popped, and it's going to continue, and then we're going to pop these two fours, and we're going to see that it's they're equal, and then the stack is empty, and then we return true. And I think
Okay.
oh, but we can also like I guess we can also have like a case where the tree isn't like perfect like this. Like this node can have like a child and the rest of
Just remove this
these
value
children.
right here. Right?
Yeah, so it could look like that. So like they won't always all have children.
Like how would
and
your
in
algorithm work in that case? Yeah.
In that case, then I can check, well, like if that happens, then we're gonna get something like 5 and then none. We're gonna get something like that, like appended. So I think if so I can do this. So if it's none and none, then we continue. Otherwise, if not node left, or if it's not node right. So if either of them are none, then we know that they're not symmetrical. So here we can return false, and then we can do it like this. And I think now it should be okay. I think I passed like all the edge cases with this.
Okay, let me throw this in. Looks good to me, but just need to verify.
Yep, no problem.
Give me the wrong result. Let's see. You gave me the wrong result on the first question. Or sorry, in the first example, it will return. Let's run it on. Wait, let's see. Let me see what the edge case is. Let me debug this for you.
Okay.
If you're looking at the stream, if not,
I'm not looking.
oh wait,
I don't have it open.
let me see what the bug is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You let me know if I should like look or not, but yeah, I don't have it open right now. Oh, sorry. This is the bug. It's here. I forgot the knot here.
Yeah, I see.
Okay,
Just
I think
stay
now
tuned.
it's a, okay.
Cool. Yeah. Looks like it worked. All right. Let me just write some notes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ramp it up even harder. Give me a second.
No.
Let me pause.
Good, good.
You're pretty
Let's-
good. Let me see. Let me look. Let me find you a good question.
No problem.
All right. I got the next question.
Okay.
So we're given a permutation of an array of integers, or it first is saying a permutation is an array of integers. Or the question here. Let me show you. Essentially, we just want to find the next permutation of a specific sequence of numbers, right? So if we listed the permutations out, so it says up here, for example, 1, 2, 3, the following are all the permutations of the array. So 1, 2, 3, the next permutation is 1, 3, 2, the next permutation is 2, 2, 1, 3, the next permutation is 2, 3, 1. So essentially we just want to find like the next given one array of nums, we just want to find the next permutation of it. I'll let you go ahead and read what the permutation is, and answer your questions. It's a bit confusing. I need to read it
Yeah.
over 1 second because I literally just copied and pasted it. But
Let me tell.
go ahead and read it over.
Okay.
And I could clarify if you have questions. Okay, I think I have a better explanation now. So, are you familiar with permutation? It's essentially the ordering of the array.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm familiar.
yeah.
All the permutation of the array are sorted. This is experience. Okay. So I guess like, so just so I have like a good understanding of like, cause I never like, I haven't really like worked with like questions that like focus on like this like lexicographically, but I guess like just based off like context, and like context clues is basically like, so for this like permutation for 1 2 3, basically like the next permutation that's lexicographically greater is basically like I want to keep as many small numbers as I can on the left side, um that I haven't already like seen on the left side. So like um so I guess like a good way I could put this is like hmm, how could I put this? Oh, something like that array 2 3 1. So I guess like yeah, because I guess like I don't really know like this definition like of this. So like for example, like for this example here, so right like why is the next greater permutation
3 1 3.
of this and it's not why is it not like this? Why is it not
Okay.
like this?
Yeah. Okay. I'll explain this question a bit better. Let's go down to the bottom here.
Okay.
So pretend we're given an array of 1 2 3, or we're given an array with these numbers. Pretend we just had all the different permutations of this array. That means order it in all the different ways possible, and then we sorted those in lexicographical order. So pretend we have 1 2 3. So what are the different ways that, or sorry, what are the different ways that we could rearrange 1 2 3? Well, we have all of these different ways. We have 1 2 3. We have 1 3 2. We have 2 1 3. These are all the different ways to rearrange array here. So what we want to do
Yeah.
is we want to return the next biggest array in terms of, if we looked at these at numbers, it would be the next biggest number. So 1 2 3,
Okay. I see what you
1
mean.
3 2,
I understand now.
2
Okay.
1 3. If we looked at it as a number, the next biggest one, because if we sorted the array, if we sorted all the, lexicographic means like if you sort them in order from smallest to greatest. So the smallest array is 1 2 3. The next smallest, and the way that you compare things lexicographically, it's like comparing like A B and A C. First you compare the first characters. If they're the same, then you have to match on the second character. So you see, these ones are at the bottom because they have the smallest value, or these ones at the very left because they have the smallest value as the first element. And then
Yeah.
this one goes ahead of this one because 2 is less than 3. Does it make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, I understand now, yeah.
So, for example, what's the next? If we're given 1 2 3, what's the next permutation? It's 1 3 2. It's not 2 1 3 because we could form the permutation 1 3 2.
Okay.
That's
I
in
see what
between.
you
You
mean.
don't want to jump. So 2 1 3. What's the next biggest one? It's like 2 3 1.
Okay. Okay. So, um, so I guess like, my thought process right away is basically like, so the way you get from this to this, like in the order, it's basically like you're comparing the numbers like in reverse, right? And you're kind of checking, well, like, I want to take a number that's less than 3 but is also like within the same array. Well, we have 2. 2 is less than 3. So I want to put it like here. And then I want to look at 3 and I want to say I want to, or sorry, wait. Oh well, sorry. I'm looking at 3. I want to look for a number that's less than 3. I see I have 2, so I put it on the right. And I look at 2. I have a number that's well, I could actually, this is actually I have to think about the intuition because that doesn't work actually. Hmm. Huh. What to think about this? Hmm. Huh.
Okay, pretend that we had an array like this. What's the next biggest array that we can get? Is there anything bigger than what you can get here?
No, actually, there isn't.
So why?
Like no matter how you arrange this, like you just don't have like, because since like you have like a number 300 basically, so you want to find like, you look at these two numbers. Well, if you rearrange these, it becomes 12. So 312 is now bigger. So let's try like rearranging like this number and put like one of these two numbers in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, none of these numbers are bigger than the one in front. So this is like impossible to find the next one. Like the next biggest one, essentially.
Okay.
So just like based off that, I guess like
So what would be the answer here?
well, based on like the question, it says, if such an arrangement is not possible, the array must be rearranged as the lowest possible order.
So it's just
So you just like go backwards basically. So it would just be like 3, 1, 2, if that's like,
or 1,
if
2,
that's
3.
right. Oh, okay.
It's the next one.
You
So
just,
there's none after this. So
oh, okay. I thought I meant like you start going backwards now, so you just get this one.
Okay, no. You go 3, 2,
Okay.
1, then you go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So pretend I had 1 here. How would I rearrange this to get the next permutation?
So basically like, it's kind of like similar to the idea I had like earlier where you check this number, since this is like in the ones place, like technically it's not like a number, but if you take it out of the list, it is, right? But you look at like this ones place and you try and find a number that's bigger than this that is also like in the array. And there is, and then you try like to swap it, I guess. So you do like, wait, the 2, 1 is 1, 2.
Now
And then
went down a number though.
yeah, and then you went down, and then you check this. I think like, is this like kind of like you? I feel like you have to try like different like ways to get it, but I feel like this is like a backtracking kind of problem. Like you try like one way, and if you automatically like if you get like a number that's smaller than the original, then you have to backtrack and you have to try like a different way. Yeah, because that like wouldn't work, so you would have to try like a different way to do it. Huh.
Wait, okay, let me go back to here. We have 3, 2, 1. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Like the best answer is like what would I want here to, since this is the maximum now for this one. Like if I rearrange anything to the right of 1.
Yeah, like you won't like,
You
it's
can't,
impossible. Like
yeah,
you can't
it's
rearrange it.
impossible
Yeah,
because it's in
yeah.
decreasing order, right? So I need to replace 1 with what value? Could I replace it with 3?
No, you can't.
Because it will just jump too high, right?
Yeah,
So what should I replace it with? 2?
No, you can't either. Yeah.
Well, if we replace it 2 at 1, right? This is the next biggest digit here. How do I get the lowest digit here in this one? In these last ones?
Oh, sorry. Like, can you re-highlight it? Because
Oh.
I disconnected. Yeah.
So I'm at 1, 3, and 2 and 1, right? So we know that we can't, for this most significant digit 1, we know that 3, 2, 1 is the highest, or we can't rearrange this area 3, 2, 1 anymore to get a higher value, right? And like, because it's in decreasing order, right?
Yeah.
So we can't.
Okay.
So we want to. So what about this one? So we know that we can't get this one. So we need to put in the next highest, the value that's just one higher of this one, right?
And that's just like 2.
This is like 2, right? And then now this is the next biggest digit. How do we make the rest of these the smallest that it can be?
You just rearrange them like in. Do you want to put like the 1s in front of the 3, right?
Yeah, you can
just
kind of
like,
sort it.
yeah.
You kind of just sort it or reverse it. 1, 1, 3.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the next biggest one. Okay, let's look at something like 2, 1, 3. Right.
Okay, so here you well, here you can
You can, right?
yeah, you can't. So you have to just take the next biggest number of 2, which is 3.
Wait, who said you can't here? Wait, go back. It's like that you could swap 3 and 1 and get 1.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's like it has to be decreasing order and not in for it to not to go.
Okay, so automatically, like, because we see that these 2 are increasing order, I can swap this like this. So I think like and I might be off, but so let's take like a number like this, for example. So I see that this number is bigger than the one before it, so let's just swap it like this. And I see that this number, yeah, and then this is like the next, like, now this is like the next permutation of this, right? So I think like, I look through like this list, like in reverse, and then I can see like, as soon as I find one number that is bigger than the one like before it, then I can like swap the like their positions like this, and then this is like the next permutation of like the original one, right? Which is the original one was this. It was this. Oh, sorry, the original was this. Sorry. So this will be like the next. So 2135 goes into 2153. That's the next like permutation, like in the order, right?
Yep.
And that's because like if I go in reverse here, this 5 is bigger than this 3, so I swap it.
Yep.
And I think like, so let's like try a different example real quick, so I make sure that my logic is right. So let's say I can have, they're not unique numbers, like they can be the same number.
It's not unique numbers, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so like I just go in reverse. Let's just do it like this. Wait, sorry. Okay, I just wanna, let's do 7. So here I see both sevens. Like this is not bigger than this. Like they're the same.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So we move on to this. This element, is this element bigger than the one before it? It is bigger. So I guess like let me just see if this works. So if we swap these two,
It's not the smallest one though.
yeah, it's not. So
That's the smallest one. Or it's not.
okay.
It's like how do after or wait go like this? Wait, go back. Oh, sorry. Shit. What happened? We swapped 7 and 4, right? 7,
Yeah.
4. Or is that? Oh wait, that is the smallest one. If you swap 7, 4, that's the smallest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So just based off that, I think like I can do. So let me like
Yeah. You're getting close.
just
Like
go-
just iron out the steps.
yeah. So let's just like go. So loop loop through the reverse, or loop through the list in reverse, right? And then we can see if the current element is bigger than the one that comes next, then we swap places of both elements. Just like right away, I think like that might be it. It seems like I don't know, feels like a trick answer, but
Okay.
and then like at
once
the
you
end, like
swap it.
once you like swap it, I think like you might only just need to swap it once, because like since we're going in reverse, like from the ones place it down, like the swap once the swap happens, like I think like you'll always feel like the next smallest, or like the next yeah the next like biggest.
Okay.
Let me just
Let's run it on this right here. 2, 3, 1. Can you show me how the algorithm works?
So you go in reverse, so you go through one. Is one bigger than the one that comes next? It's not. Okay. Is 3 bigger than the one that comes next, which is 2? It is. So if you swap so you swap this and this.
Yep.
Oh, but it should be this. Sorry. It should be 1 and 2. It should be this.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, like, oh shit, what the hell? So we got to 3, 2, 1, right? So now we know that this one is the next biggest one, or this digit is correct. How do we talked about this earlier? How do we get this to be the lowest value? After the 3.
So I think like my thinking, we can do like my thinking in reverse. Like we can kind of, we don't have to think about it like kind of like in, oh, we find like if this is bigger than the one that comes next, we can maybe go like down the list like normal, like not in reverse, and we can say
I
like
think
if
going to reverse is a good approach, but right now we got to 2. Let's walk through your algorithm real quick.
yeah. So
we know that when 2 is the digit here, that this is the biggest we can get where 2 is when 2 is here, right? Because we can't rearrange anything to the right of 2 to get anything bigger. So what you did is you put 3 here. You swapped here. 3, 2,
yeah,
right? So I think I mentioned this earlier. We talked about it. If we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you turn these? So how do you turn this into the smallest permutation?
so Oh yeah, so um the next biggest number would be 12. You can swap these two. You can't swap these.
Mhm.
These two. You can't swap these two. Um well, you can't like get the next biggest permutation, I don't think, in
You can't,
this.
right? So how do you get
Yeah.
this? So how do you get back to the start? You just sort these,
So
right? Did we talk about this before? Like the next biggest, or like
so if you don't like ever like edit modify the array and you just like exit, if you don't modify it, you can just sort it. And that would be like
well,
it'll
like
just loop
what's the
back to the
next
beginning.
lexicographical, or what's the next lexicographical sequence after 2 and 1, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? You can't rearrange any of these anymore to get any value higher, because it's in decreasing order.
Yeah, so it'll just loop back to like the beginning,
Yeah,
and then it'll, in order to do that, you just sort the array.
yeah. Because
Just
what you did here in your algorithm is you created a new the most significant digit is now 3, right? So what you need to do is you just need to arrange everything to the right of it to the smallest digit possible, to the smallest sequence possible. And what's the smallest sequence possible? It's just all of the elements to the right sorted in order.
okay.
Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Because here, right, you put 3 here, and now you're positioned. Now you have 2, 1. So like, how do we get this to be the smallest thing? Because the most significant digit just incremented. But we just take all the values behind it and increment, and then place them in sorted order. It's a bit of an annoying question, I can't lie.
Yeah. Um, it is. It is. This one's like I think the thing that kind of messes up in my head is kind of like um it's like this lexicographic and then like smallest and biggest and like just like swapping them all around. It can get a little weird, but I think I'm on the right track with this.
Yeah. Well, I would say just go and try this question on your own, because it's an annoying question, but it likes to be asked. So I want to ask it to you, so
Okay.
you never have to worry about this question again. This is it's an
Yeah.
annoying question, but I've been asked this before, and people have been asked this before that I've known. I see it all the time in Leetcode discussions. Everyone hates this question.
Yeah, this one's a doozy. I've never actually seen this question before. Um, I think like do we even how much time do we even have left? I think we're done
Yeah,
at
we're
this
pretty
point.
much done. Yeah. So what do you think? How
Yeah.
do you think you did?
Definitely like did not pass this time around for sure. Just because like of this like doozy of a question here. Just couldn't wrap my head around like the algorithm like in time really with this
Yeah.
one. But I think the first question I solved it like pretty fast
Yeah. Yeah. I think
actually.
solve. Like my feedback is, yeah, you solved question 2 pretty easy. The second question is a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was just trying to see how you think through it. I don't really like asking this question, but you're just solving the questions before that, so I had to ramp it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's
Yeah.
more of like a trick kind of thing. But if you're good at math, like Paul in the chat, he's like did math competition stuff. He was able to figure it out. I forget what his thought process was and how to iterate it, but shouldn't feel bad, because I couldn't even get this my first go. It took me a lot of iterating, but
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I think this is one of those like if you haven't seen it before, it'll be really hard to like really figure it out on the first go. Yeah,
yeah.
but
But I would just like I think you're tripping up a little bit with the lexicographical stuff. So work on
yeah,
questions So work on questions like Alien Dictionary or Alien
Okay.
Dictionary, verify Alien Dictionary. Ones that just look up lexicographic questions and you'll get to and understand what that even means because you're gonna see that in interviews. And if you don't understand the definition, it's gonna trip you up. Because I think you're getting close. I think you actually had the math skills to solve it, but then it was just like you were just dealing with too many new terms.
Yeah, I think that was like my biggest problem. Yeah, it was just like the new terms were kind of messing me up. Yeah, but I think I was close. I'm gonna actually like try and solve this on my own after
Yeah,
after this.
stare at it for a while.
All right,
Cool. All right. Thanks, Cyclops. Let's do this again sometime.
I'll be back.
Yeah, good
That's for
luck
sure.
studying.
All
All
right,
right,
thanks.
catch you,
I'll
man.
see you, man.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Yo, I hate asking that question. Not gonna lie. But Paul, I had to do it for you. I wanted to see. I'm not a fan of asking that question, but Paul, you were able to solve it though. Honestly, I'm. I need to think back on your thought process. But I remember even when you were coming up with the solution, you're having trouble explaining it, how you were coming up with the intuition. You kind of were just like, oh, we'll just work from the back and like it's not that easy to like explain that thought process. Okay, who's left? One more person. Hold on, almost 3 hours. Okay, got the last person. I hate asking that question. It's actually so toxic. Okay, we got one last person on. Yo, what's up? What's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Were you tuned into the stream?
Oh, yeah. Here, all right. I just X'd out of the stream. Sorry, I was
Oh
watching
no,
it.
how do you think they got? How was that last question? Have you solved that question before?
No, I was saying I was the one who skipped the lexicographic stuff too, just because sometimes it doesn't like get asked too frequently in interviews. But no, I thought you did really good though, to be
Yeah,
honest, for seeing it for the first time. I
yeah,
I, I thought it pretty tough.
yeah. Honestly, it's so funny. When I was doing my DoorDash interviews, I did like 100 of the DoorDash tag questions, and that's the one question I skipped. I was like, they're not gonna ask this question. Question is kind of stupid. It's like next permutation. Like even if you look at the comments, everyone's saying this question is dumb. Like who's gonna ask this? So I
Yeah,
don't feel
I
bad for them.
guess.
Cause look at this. It's like a moment of silence for the poor soul that gets asked this in an interview question. People are saying they hate this question. Very difficult, right? So I saw this. I was like, "There's no way, no everyone's gonna ask me this question." So it's the one question I didn't do, and they can ask me that question. It got rejected. I was like, bruh.
Yeah, no, it's
So
tough.
bad. I don't know. That was good. That was good content though. Just asking us the most
Yeah.
toxic question. But I've already, cause he's already been like killing in the other ones.
Mhm. Yeah, I saw his first one. It was really good. So, yeah.
I'll send it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start a video. What school do you go to again, or where are you interviewing?
Sorry, could you say it one more time?
Like, what school do you go to, or where are you interviewing? Just for the intro part.
Oh yeah, so I go to the University of Iowa,
Nice.
and right now I'm interviewing at SpaceX, like Starlink specifically. So yeah, no, I haven't interviewed there before, and I don't really know the process, to be honest. So
Have you
just
researched
thought,
it at all?
yeah, I guess it's like differing because it's like very team based. But from what I've heard, it's actually like, even though they said like so right now I have like this 45-minute technical, quote unquote technical,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people have told me that it's more like system designy ish, where it's like just like maybe code like a little bit, but then a lot more thought process on how you design something.
Okay,
So
and this is new grad or intern?
new grad.
Oh, new grad. Okay, we had somebody in my channel get a new grad offer at SpaceX. Maybe you can give insight. I mean,
Oh yeah, I think I talked to him and he said like similar things to what I just said. I think his name is like it
Zesty.
starts with a Z.
Yeah, Zesty.
Yeah,
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 yeah. Okay, you
yeah.
talked to
Okay.
him. Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually interned with him like a couple years ago, which is
Oh, so
really
you know
funny.
him? That's crazy.
I know him, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
But yeah, no, not too sure what to expect, but maybe like maybe some like simple-ish, like very practically code, if like related to like their whatever they do, and then probably maybe more system designy-ish too.
I see.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never been on like a stream or like done like a live interview before, so let me know if like you need any like more info from me
Yeah,
or
yeah.
stuff like
No,
that.
this is good. I'll just start it off. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone. So today I have a student from the University of Iowa who's actually prepping for a new grad position at SpaceX. So pretty sick company. So we're gonna test his lead coding skills. Could you just give a background on maybe what internships you did? Like how were you able to get this SpaceX interview? I know it's a pretty hard company to get an interview at.
Yeah, so I guess a little bit about my background. I researched at Stanford and then went to John Deere as a SWE, and then interned at Samsara as a SWE.
Nice.
And yeah, and then I just applied, like code applied, and I was lucky. I wrote a cover letter too. I guess that helped a lot, maybe. But yeah, I just applied, code applied.
I see.
Um,
So you only had one internship,
oh, I had two. So one at John Deere and then one at Samsara, both SWE.
and you did research at Stanford. You said.
Yeah.
It's like, are you undergrad in University of Iowa?
Yeah, yeah. So the Stanford thing was kind of interesting. I just emailed a bunch of professors, and I was like, I read like a paper just so I could like say some context about them.
Yeah.
And yeah, they gave it to me.
Well, it's cool. What was your research there? Would you?
It was
What you looking into?
actually, yeah, it was actually more bio based. So it was investigating like a specific gene mutation, specifically like the VSP4A mutation, which causes like nerve damage in the ears.
Whoa,
And so yeah, it's just looking at that a lot.
damn. Did you get the right code for that?
I this is funny. That was like when I was pre med. So
Oh,
yeah,
you switched over.
I switched over. I did. I probably should have said that.
Nice. Okay. So you're pre-med, and then what made you want to switch into computer science?
Honestly, I thought like the research in the pre med aspect was kind of like slow. It was a little clunky just because like government stuff, like you got to be pretty meticulous. But I guess tech was just going super fast. Not like that,
Yeah.
and so I kind of just switched over.
So you're from Iowa, and then you just did an internship in Silicon Valley, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
What was your experience there, going to working in Silicon Valley? Was it interesting? Was it fast paced? Was it like, how was that?
Dude, I like I was in the Bay Area and
Yeah.
I like the social life especially. Like everybody and dude, people like they're like there's a range of like how quickly people move, but like the people that are like doing startups and stuff, dude, they move insanely fast. It's actually crazy. And it was pretty exciting too. So I thought, I mean, it's definitely a lot faster paced than Iowa, which is more like agriculture and stuff. So I really liked it.
Yeah. You went made friends with people doing startups and stuff. You're
Yeah, I
interested in
talked to a
that?
lot of yeah, I talked to a lot of people. I like startups. They seem pretty cool, especially like the smaller, like talent dense ones.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I feel like you just end up talking to people like that in SF. So
Yeah, that's a lot. Cool. How many questions have you done on Leetcode?
to be honest, I think like around like 100-ish, I want to say. So not too many.
How many mediums? How many hards?
I think it's like mostly mediums, like 60 mediums, like
Okay.
and then like a couple hards, and then the rest easies.
Couple hards. How are you with arrays?
Decent. When I say a couple hards, I mean like one or two,
Yeah.
like like less than five for sure.
Hmm.
Unless like I'll be able to solve them if I like look at the like like a bunch of hints. But yeah,
Okay.
arrays.
Yeah.
It's like
Just give me a rating out of 10. How comfortable are you with arrays?
probably like a 6 or 7, I'd say.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So you could, if I give you a random medium array question,
Mhm.
6 or 7 means you probably would struggle with a random medium array question. But like you'll be able to solve it. But it was just not that fast.
Yeah, not that fast for sure. Yeah, probably like 30, 40 minutes maybe.
Okay. What about linked list?
Like list stuff.
Linked list. Are you familiar with linked list?
Oh, link. Oh yeah, link list. Those are I kind of struggle with that a little bit too. Probably like I'd say a little lower, like 4 or 5 maybe.
Okay. What about trees?
Trees, I'd kind of say I've seen most tree questions actually, so I'd probably put it around like 5 or 6.
Okay. What about graphs?
Graphs 4 or 5. Haven't seen too many of those to be honest.
Okay. Are you familiar with like pre-order, in-order, post-order traversals and things like that?
I know of them. I haven't implemented all of them though.
Okay. What about more complicated graph questions like Dijkstra's algorithm or topological sort? Have you ever implemented any of those?
I have not implemented any of
Okay.
those.
Okay. But you can shoot out like a DFS or a BFS pretty quick.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me think about this. Since you're already good with arrays, we'll probably focus this a little bit more on graphs and trees because trees and graphs show up the most. But what was the insight that you had on the interview that you're doing again? It's gonna be more specific. It's not just LeetCode.
Yeah, they said it was either gonna be more like related to like satellites and things like that, or
Mm-hmm.
like job specific, or it was gonna be more system design-ish. So like yeah, I guess like I was interviewing with like I did a practical with like Zesty, and gave me like a design like Tinder, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I
see.
don't know how that reflects.
I see. Okay. Um, fine. Because there's multiple rounds. There's probably coding and then there's probably system design, unless they mix
Yeah.
it both. But I think yeah, design. Let's work through this one question.
Okay.
You're in here, right? Okay. Cool. So this is we're gonna work through this one question depending on how long it takes. We might just stick with one or we might go with more. But
Okay.
we're gonna implement a randomized set class. So the constructor creates this randomized set, and then we'll have multiple functions.
Okay.
We have 3 functions. We can insert into the randomized set. We can remove from the randomized set, and then we can randomly get an element from the set.
Okay.
I'll let you read that and clarify with me if you don't understand.
Okay. So randomized set. All right. So this seems like a class, and then it has inserts an element item into the val. Okay. In the set if it's not present. Returns true, else false. Okay. That seems remove. So it removes from the set and returns true, and then get random from the set. At least one element exists when this method's called. Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't. I mean, okay. It seems. Yeah. Okay. I think I understand the intuition behind these functions. And I guess this might be like a little bit in like a weird question, but like I guess I would be using like an internal, like I'd make this class randomized set, and then I'd be using like some sort of like set inside of it. Um, which I don't know if that's like the right approach because it's like I don't know, randomized set, but yeah, I would use like a set to keep track of values because you don't want to insert if it's already present, and you only want to remove if it's present. So I think a set would be perfect for that. And then this get element, this is sorry, not get element, get random. This is kind of a little bit trickier, but I think in Python there's like this get random function, so I could use that, and then like maybe convert the set to like a list, and then get random from there. What do you think
Okay.
that's like a good?
Can you write some of that out? Your thoughts here?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess like class like
Or I mean, just like
randomized.
right here, just the some of your thoughts that you mentioned there. I'll just write it down so we don't forget it.
Okay. So have a class for insert. I guess like this class needs to have its own set to keep track of elements for insert, check class set, and then like I guess if in set return true, else false, and then what is this? Remove if in set return true. Remove and return true, else false, and then I guess get random's a little bit different. Get random. This is like use get random function in Python. Maybe like convert set to list and get random index of list, and then that way I can get and then return element at list index. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at this a little bit. So why do we want to use a set under the hood?
Just I'm thinking constant time lookups.
So for constant time lookups. Okay, so how fast would the insert and remove be?
I should be constant, to be honest.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, that's the fastest we can get it. What about get random?
That's converting the set to a list is that already n the length of the list, and then yeah, it should be n, like length of whatever the set is at that time.
Yeah, imagine we had a big list and we just kept calling get random on it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that'd take up most of the runtime. Um,
It would be really slow function, right? After the set is large.
yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Uh,
is there a reason you're converting it to a list?
oh, just so I can index.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you can't index a set, right?
Yeah. Is this like so there is this like kind of hinting at a way to like make this faster?
Well, yeah, I want this get random to be faster. That's kind of like
Okay.
we both agree that it's slow right there. Just get random.
Yeah, yeah.
Because every time we
Okay.
call get random, it should actually we should get that way faster because we don't want to create. It's also a waste of space. Also, like we create a whole new set every single time.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we want this faster. Okay, kind of what I'm thinking is get random. Can I like no. I was okay, sorry. I was thinking about like returning like the very last element or something, but then that's not random really. So, I guess looking at this, I need some sort of like list, right? Where I can like index.
Mm-hmm.
Could I do something like maybe like uh if I had like a class list or something like that, and then maybe I can keep track of like the length, or I can just get the length. I think that's also constant observation to get length. And then I could do like that indexing that I was talking about before, like getting the random index. That could also work. Um, get random index and then return that. Yeah, but this becomes I was just thinking about it just now, but this becomes kind of weird when remove's called, because then I have to do like a linear scan to like remove that element in this list actually. Um, so I need a way to like remove remove makes this and hmm um okay, is this so then like yeah, then I might need need index. I need like index information for each element. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Do you think like a I don't know. This okay, so set seems super optimal. List also seems pretty good too. Like a set and a list combo seems good. Uh, but I need like I'm basically trying to like if I have the list, then it kind of makes this whole thing n, if that makes sense. Like one function will be n, whether it's remove or get random. Um, so I kind of need, I guess, like I don't know. Could I? Okay, what are your thoughts on like using a different data structure than like a set or a list?
Okay, so what are we working here? We want to use a set for fast lookups,
Yeah,
but we want to use an array for random lookups for random
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
lookups by index, right? So what
yeah.
other data structure are you thinking of then?
I mean, the only one that kind of combines both is like a dictionary.
Well, set is a dictionary, right? Yeah.
Oh, I guess I was thinking of more like, sorry, I was thinking of more like this, like something like that.
That's set, more set. Like dictionary has a key and value, and set would just be keys.
Yeah. So I guess I was thinking like maybe could we just like throw away the set for like a key value thing, like a dictionary, hopefully. I mean, that still
What will
kind
it
of preserves
store?
it. Well, it needs to store the element, so I'm thinking key is the element. And then the only way I can think of like removing stuff constantly is if I store that element's like index in this array. That's like the only kind of relationship I could think of.
So you want to combine. You want to sort of combine a set and an array.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was thinking of combining the set. Well, I was thinking of kind of taking away the set, putting it in the dictionary, and then kind of combining some information. But I kind of want the array there just because like I can still do like a get random function of the array length, and then I can like get
Yeah.
return that index.
Let's work through a very small example.
Okay.
Let's just go insert 1, insert 2, then call get random.
Uh-huh.
So like, can you show me how this dictionary or array or set or the data structure is gonna work?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking let's go dictionary. Wait, sorry. This will be something like. Well, actually, I think the array would be first. It would be better to do this. So we'd insert 1, insert 2, kind of like a stack almost, or yeah, first in. I guess like a queue mostly, and then dictionary would be like 1, and then index, and then 2, and then 1, something like that. And then the get random will just get like return like a number between 0 and 1, or inclusive, and then return that element.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what.
Wait, what do we return? Get random should return a random element. Yeah, that would work. So it'd return 1. So it'd return 1. If you do get random, it would return. You would pick a random number between the length of this between 0 and the length of this array.
Yeah.
1 kind of, and just keep randomly returning an index here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what would happen when we insert? Or what if we delete?
Delete. So like remove. Let's remove 1. So okay, this is kind of where I like the dictionary just because now I can delete it from the dictionary, and now I know the index is 0. So then I guess I can pop it. Yeah, I can remove it from the front. It gets a little bit weird when this array is actually longer. If it was like in the middle, then it kind of becomes a little bit weird. But sorry, let me just make this like a massive array. Like let's say I remove 1. Let's put 1 at like right there. Yeah, so now it doesn't become constant anymore, removing, because then I'm splicing and then combining the array. Only thing I can kind of think of is if we swap like an element, we can swap like we can't swap the first one. So like I think you just have to swap the last one with this and then remove the last. Oh yeah, okay. So then we just swap that, and then you just like pop, because pop is constant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then we just pop, and then I think that's it. Sorry, this dictionary isn't reflective of what's in the array right now, but
I think you have a good intuition there.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead and implement that.
Okay. Let's do class randomize set. I actually don't know the boilerplate for classes. I should, but it's something like this. Doesn't it like define in it? Is it okay if I search up like?
I'll just show you.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
No problem. This is the constructor. This is how you create the set. This is the class. This is the constructor.
Okay.
You could just define like functions here.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
So I don't think we're passing any arguments in here.
Actually,
So we just.
like pretend I didn't show you that, right?
Uh-huh.
How would you GPT that or something? Like there's this AI assist here.
Yeah.
So what would you search
I
up?
just.
Like, go in here and search it,
Is-
because people are starting to do interviews like this where they want to see how you would ask prompt GPT. Do you see the AI assist tab?
well, where
It's
is
like
that, Jimmy?
on
Oh, over here.
does it
Oh,
show
shoot.
does it show that I said hello in there?
Oh, yeah, it does. It
Can you
does.
can
Oh,
you
this is
okay
sick.
search it? How would you prompt this AI to get that answer? What'd you say? Pretend you had it before you didn't know what to do.
Okay. This is. Oh, so okay. Wow, I didn't know they had this. Dang. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would do. It's kind of sick. Yeah. Randomize set, and then. Oh, I see. It's like that, and then define init. Self. We're not passing anything, so I don't need to do that. Self dot dig equals this. Self dot array equals that. And then define insert, which is self, right? Yeah. Okay, self, and then it takes in a val, right? Val. Remove, and then. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to run. And then get random. Okay. Insert. So we'll do if thou in self dot dict dot keys return false. How else you want to append? So then self dot dict of val equals len of self dot array minus 1. Return true, right? Because yeah, if it inserts into the set, returns true if the item was not present. Okay, yeah. And then remove, kind of the same thing if not in set. Return false. Self dot. Nope. Let's see. Index equals, and then I want to go self dot dict of val. And then so I take the index, and then I have to do the array swapping. Array of index. Oh, self dot array. Self dot array of index equals self dot array of -1 last element, and then self dot array dot pop, and then return true. Okay, so that should get the logic, and then this is length of our array equals len of self dot array -1, and then I think it's just like, oh, man, can I use the AI assistant to do the get random function?
Yeah. Not like
Okay.
don't just search up build me a get random, but like what would you search up if you want to figure out like what are you looking at?
Yeah, so I'd use again, like I'd search up
What do you want to search? What's your query?
like I would search up like example of get random in Python.
So what do you want to do here in this get random function?
I think I just wanted to call get random. I think it's like math.getRandom or something like
Okay,
that.
yeah. Look, okay, feel free to look it up.
Math.getRandom. random in Python. Okay, I have to import it. Oh, rand int. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay. Import
I
random.
like this because now I'm getting to see this is what devs these days do. So I don't. Obviously, you could just pass the whole thing in and be like, build me a get randomized set, but that'll defeat the purpose. So I like how you're just searching very specific stuff.
Yeah, and then length of array. Okay, and then I just return array of index, right? Oh, self.array. Self.array. Okay. I want to say that's it. Should I do like a dry run or something?
Wait, walk me through line by line here.
Okay. Yeah.
Start
So
with the insert.
yeah. So create the class. Define my dictionary and array. If the val is in the keys of the dictionary, that means we already have it inside our objects. So then we have to return false. I believe that was the constraint. Yeah. If the item's not present, return true. So then, since it's already in, we have to return false, and then we like make the entry of the array in our index.
Actually, yeah, dry run this for me. There it goes. By actually walking through line by line and showing me how these update. So we'll start insert one. Start this
Okay,
one.
so it'll create the empty dictionary and array, and then insert it'll take a val. Oh wait, get random doesn't take a val. Whoops. But insert will take a val, and then it'll say, is val in the dictionary keys? It's not.
Sorry, I moved it up here.
Okay, yeah. No worries, that's good. So then val will not be in the dictionary, so then it'll just insert that in there. Oh, dude, I forgot to put the array. Array dot append val. Okay. And then
So what would array look like there?
Yeah, and then it should just append that.
So say value of 1 is equal to 0. What's length of self dot or
Oh, that's right. Right now it's 0. Oh, so I don't need this -1.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need this -1. Okay, yeah, because I'm doing it before I'm appending. I see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So then
I insert again 1. No, what's happening? What's gonna
happen? So it's gonna look at the keys, and then it should just return false. Because the keys should have 1 already in there.
Okay. Now what?
And then 2 it won't be in the keys, so then it'll go into the dictionary, and then it'll be like 2, and the length of the array at that time is 1, and then it should just append to the end of that, and it'll return true.
Okay, what about get random?
Get random. It should take the wait, sorry. I wanted to see if I don't know if this is inclusive or not. I think it is. Get random float. Yeah. Okay. I think this is inclusive. I want to say this is inclusive.
How would you check that? You could prompt GPT if you want.
Yeah. So is random inclusive with the range inputted? Okay. Oh, it is. All right. Cool. So then right now this is 2, so it needs to be 1 so that I can index it. And then I take this is 1, which it should be, and then that will return like a valid index, and it should return something either 1 or 0. And then I get that element.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait, let's talk about the remove. Is this remove function working as expected?
Yeah, let me
Like,
check
let's
that.
dry
So if
run
it's
remove. No, oh yeah, we didn't even get there yet. Okay, remove one now.
okay, if val not in the keys, then you haven't removed, so then it should return false, right? Removes an item if it's in present. If the item was present, return true. Okay, yeah. So since it's not present, it doesn't function, so we return false. And so now we need to get the index of the item. So we take the vals index. Oh, I didn't remove it from the dictionary. Self dot. Um, I think it's remove the val. I want to say remove. Delete. I think it's delete. It's one of these.
Ask GPT.
Okay. How to delete a key value entry in a Python dictionary. Oh, is it pop? Oh, dude. Oh, it's pop. Okay. All right. Pop val. Okay, now I delete it from the dictionary. And then I use the index and I swap it. So I'm saying this current index of the val equals the end of the index or the end of the array, like whatever val is at the end of the array. Oh, what happens if? Okay, I see. Like this could kind of be trippy if like the end and the beginning are the same, but then I pop, so then I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, never mind. Yeah, and then I just pop the last one.
So what's this doing? Right here. So
Yeah,
show
what?
show me how it's affecting this dictionary here. Let me move this down. So
Oh, removing one. Okay, so it gets the index of one, which is 0, and then it pops it like this entry, so it just like deletes that. And then what I was thinking in the array is that it takes the very last element and sets whatever like we just removed to that element. So it should set that to 2 and then remove this, like pop that off.
okay. He's looking good. I feel like let's run it on some test cases.
Okay. So I do object. Oh, that's a keyword. Random equals. I think that's how I do it, and then random set dot insert something like 1 2. I guess I have to print out this, right? Let's do one more, and then I'll do a couple of removes. Let's remove 1, and then let's do a get random. Get random like that. Can I do that? True, false, true, true. This should be true, false, true, true, and then remove. This is in the set, so it should be true, and then get random. Let me run it one more time to see if like this. Okay, maybe I need to insert more elements just to make sure this get random.
So
Is actually
okay,
getting.
let's look at line 53 and 54. We did a dry run on the code, right?
Yeah.
So like this just looks off to me. It's like saying dictionary. Just take a look at that.
Like like in the comments, like this stuff.
Or just look at 53 and 54 in isolation. So what we're saying, the value of 2 is at index what?
53 and 54,
Yeah.
line 53.
Just saying. So the we're saying value 2 is at index 1 in the array.
Oh, I'm not doing the swapping, or like I'm not swapping that index value. I see what you're saying. I got you. So I need to update that in the dictionary as well, right? So that needs to be in the remove. Okay, and then I have an index right here, so then I could do that. Let's see, self dot dictionary, and then I want self dot array, I think, and then I want that index. Okay, because this is the index I'm removing. This is the element of the index, and I want that to equal the index. And then I swap it, and then I pop it.
Wait, self dic if the array at the index. That's the one you want to remove, right?
Wait, no, sorry. This is the end. Whoops, this should be -1. Yeah, you're right. You're right. -1. Swap it with the whatever you set that value to the index because you're gonna swap it.
I see.
And
okay.
then
Is that working correctly? Let's run. Or could you run that and just make sure, look over that quickly?
yeah. Okay. I can also like print out the random set dictionary as well, right? And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let me do this, and then let me put that after I remove 1. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3. I think that works, right? Maybe that's let me try it. Let me think about it a little bit. Maybe that's just like a very simple case, and so it's probably failing somewhere. I pop the value from the dictionary, so I delete it. Then
this case is breaking for you. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
So let's see, randomize set. So it's gonna go like this. Then we go remove 0, remove 0, insert 0, get random. Remove 0.
Okay. So these two should be false. True. Then I should return 0. And then it should be true. And then it should be true. Okay. So it's probably
false. False. True. Get random should just return 0 here. Always. This should be true. True.
Yeah, okay. It might straight up be in the remove still. Let me think about this. So I'm taking the dictionary, I'm deleting the value I want to remove. Then, well, first I'm taking the index of that value. I'm saving it, then deleting that value from the dictionary. Then I'm setting the last element's index to the current element, to like the element that I'm removing's index. And then I'm swapping it over here. And then I'm popping it from the array. Yeah, because the last element, it doesn't, because you have a duplicate. And so you just pop that last element usually. Yeah, okay. I think the remove, I want to say the remove, sure. Do you want me to just test it on like this test case specifically?
Yeah. Let's see. It was breaking and it was. So we remove, we insert, we get random. There's just a small edge case. I'm running it. I ran it in Leetcode though. That's the thing. So.
Oh, okay.
The main issue is this was returning false for some reason.
Oh, the insert, really? Yeah. So that means it's going in here. Huh. But I'm popping it.
I mean, so try running it, or actually write out or try running this specific case. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll have my equals that, and then array. And
I mean, like instantiate your randomized set, and then call remove, insert, get random.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So like. Oh yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. Whoops. Random set dot remove and then dot ins. Okay, so I have to print it.
You have to do a bunch of prints.
Yeah. Okay, that should. Okay. Yeah.
False, true. See, it's false.
False, true. Yeah, this one. Okay, this should be true. Right, because you removed and then interesting. Okay. If val in, so that means it's still in the dictionary, right? Here, wait. Sorry, let me print random set dot. Wow. Okay, because you remove it. Because it's so it's an array of 1. So I pop it. Oh, dude. Okay, this might be. I might have to pop it later. I have to pop it afterwards because I think what I'm doing here is I'm just creating another entry.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Passing all the cases.
Okay, that was
How you feeling about that one?
Definitely a little bit trickier. Yeah, it's I like the class based. This might be something they ask just because it's a lot more class based. But yeah, no, that the logic I should have walked through a little bit. It made sense, but then I didn't realize that like this popping it before is actually just not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thanks for the edge cases though. Like bringing that up to me, I totally wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, you have good understanding of the fundamentals and stuff. Like, Yeah, he has an interview at SpaceX coming up, Rambod. But I think you have good understanding of the fundamentals for sure. For example, insert and removing. When you saw that, you just automatically knew we had to use a set here to have O1 operations, and then when we said get random, you knew that you can't just index into a set, so you kind of had to use an array. So your first solution was to convert the set to an array, which is a fine first solution because it gets it to work. But then I said it's not optimal, so you improved it. I think overall, like, good job on that. You're able to code it up fast. I think you're able to figure out that if you just swap it with the one to the back and just pop it out, it's OV1, and all the runtime complexities with that. I think, yeah, overall pretty good. It was just the main thing would just be just getting to the solution faster. But
Yeah.
I think I don't know, no problems with it so far for me.
Do you think like that's like a question that they'd expect like you take a whole interview for, like a 45-minute, thing for, or
It might. Let me see. Maybe not the whole thing. They might have like a follow up they expect you to get to or something.
I got
But
you. Okay. Yeah.
it was.
I
It
mean,
might be. I don't know. This is actually a trickier kind of question. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is this. If it feels for a new grad or intern, yeah. But it feels like for someone, if it was someone more experienced, maybe there'd be a follow up. If this was asked at like Meta, for example, they might expect you to do it within 20-25 minutes. So it's
okay.
so
Great.
if you can
Yeah,
get
that's
this
good.
question done in 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you should be good. Like, I asked this to the Code Forces guy
Okay.
too, so but you're getting there. You're getting there. It's really good.
That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't really I was originally like thinking about prepping Leetcode just for this like interview coming up, but then a lot of people told me it's like system design, so now I've been like just doing more system design stuff. So I don't know, but yeah, no, this is a tricky one. I probably need to like just crease out my like logic a little bit more for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for like thanks for the interview. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Just message me if you want to do another one. When's your SpaceX interview?
It's Thursday, so it's after finals, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, just got
Damn, you're
finals on Monday and
grinding.
Tuesday, and then just kind of grinding.
And then you're done school. You graduated.
Yeah, I will graduate.
Damn.
Yeah,
Congrats,
I
man.
graduate Saturday. Appreciate it.
You graduate
Appreciate it.
when?
Thank you. Saturday.
Next
Uh,
Saturday.
yeah.
Wow. Congrats, man. Good luck with everything. Hope you get into the intern or you get the job that you want, and good luck. I'll see you around in the Bay Area, wherever you end up. Let me know how it all goes and all the interviews. But congrats on
I
graduating.
appreciate it, man. It means a lot. Thank you, man.
All right, catch you, man. Peace.
See ya.
Yo, Minmer, so boot camp is when you start at Meta in the first week. There's like a synchronous boot camp where everyone goes and they teach you about the company and the culture and all that stuff. It's like I was eating lunch with a bunch of people and they're like, "Oh yeah, coding with Minmer. I watched all his videos. It was super helpful in getting a role at Meta." I was like, "Nice. I know that guy." There's some other famous guy who has like 800,000. 800K views or something like that. Jacob, I'll send you the link. Yeah, that guy is, but I don't know who he is. I've never met him. He's been there for a long time. Some guy had like 800K views joining Meta in the same boot camp as me. I had no idea who he was. Or 800K subs. Add Jacob. Okay, add Jacob. Go on community general and tag Jake Peralta. Yeah, I have no idea who people were just saying that. So I need to find them. That's crazy for like a tech YouTuber channel. Crap, my stuff, my AirPods is dying. Wait, let me. Well, maybe yeah. Let me see. Wait, got somebody else coming in. Yo, Jacob, what's good?
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. So, are you a student or like looking for a new grad or experienced engineer already?
Yeah, so I'm actually a college student right now.
Nice,
Um, so
nice. What
getting
year?
some friendship trips. Like sophomore, junior, I'm actually gonna get a computer science degree in 3 years.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So you're
so
just starting school, huh?
so I'm just now transferring out of a community college,
Nice.
and I'm gonna go to a 4 year and spend a year there, and then get my degree.
Cool. What university are you joining?
It's Indiana University,
Nice.
Indianapolis.
Oh, that's cool. You watching the playoffs for Indiana?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I'm not really
Basketball.
too big into college sports.
Or no, basketball like NBA. The
Oh, like
Pacers.
the Pacers. Yeah, I've heard some stuff about
Yeah.
them here and there. They're
So
doing pretty well this season.
so how come you're looking to so you've already done some lead code and you're just looking to practice?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. Give me some
I think
background quickly on like what yeah, why you're practicing and stuff.
yeah. So I'm just practicing, mainly because I'm trying to go after this internship with Salesforce here in
Nice.
Indianapolis. It's also based in San Francisco, so there's quite a few different like I guess hubs that I'm trying to get into. So that's mainly why. But yeah, I've been kind of grinding a little bit of leak code in here and there, but I would also say that I have a kind of a good memory of my data structures and algorithms class. So not too much leak code on some of the bigger data structures like trees and graphs, and probably
Yeah.
linked lists too.
How many questions have you done in total?
Probably in the range of like 20 to like 30.
20 to 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think. Yeah. Because I was about to
But
hop. Okay, are you free next weekend? I'll message you for next weekend.
um I should be. Sometimes things just come up right in the
Yeah.
middle of the week, but I mean, as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, because I just wanted to get you on call to understand how many questions. Because my AirPods are dying and I don't know, I've just been streaming for a while. So I think I'll message you so we can do a mock interview next weekend. But
Okay.
I just want to
Sounds
quickly
good.
see the breakdown on how many questions and what you're aiming for. So you're trying to get into Salesforce?
Yeah, the other thing is too is I'm in this coding camp right now called Revature, and I've done a lot of Leetcode problems just in that camp. So when I say like 20 to 30, that's kind of like on my own,
I
but
see.
I've definitely like just in coursework like ran into Leetcode problems as well.
Yeah,
So just not really counting
I
those.
see. Okay. One thing I would say is we have people in the Discord who got a job at Salesforce. So I'm gonna tag them in the general channel and maybe you can ask for
Okay.
some insight there. When is your interview?
I actually don't have an interview at this moment. I
Okay.
just applied.
Nice.
I
Okay.
did get a referral because I went to a Salesforce tower tour and I talked to some people there.
Nice.
So I did get a referral, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, you wanna move out to the Bay Area after you graduate or stay in Indiana?
No, no, I'm trying to move out to somewhere in California.
Nice.
Um, Relatively, maybe Texas. I'm kind of open. I don't really want to stay in Indiana, but as far as the internship's concerned, I'm just trying to get an internship, grow some experience.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Do you have any trouble getting interviews or you're able to get interviews?
Well, I actually am in a internship now, but it's going to end this month. So, and this was my first internship, but I think I also just did.
Where was
I've
it?
I've
Where's your
done.
internship? Sorry. Where's your internship?
So it's through a startup
Nice.
locally in Indianapolis.
Nice.
So, um, but yeah, so I've been working with him since March, um,
Yeah, I mean
and
you
then
already locked in your first internship. I think that's gonna help you get jobs in the future. So I mean you're on
yep.
the right track and you're already grinding lead code. So yeah, I think yeah, let's work on some questions next week and see where you're at. I'll prepare something. I'll prioritize you next week.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good, man. All right, nice talking to you. Thanks
All
for
right,
hopping on the stream. All right, see
yeah,
ya.
no problem. Thanks.
All
See ya.
right, bye. Yo, chat. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next video. We'll do more streams and help more people get better at algos. That was a fun stream. Just did a few. Peace. Would you know how you know much about solutions engineering or SA roles? Would this be good to intern in? I think it's good. Solutions engineering, there's a lot of jobs in SA roles. A lot of the very strong SAs I know also knew how to code. So, but honestly, if your goal is to become a software engineer, prioritize getting software engineering roles. Like, if you have a chance to get a software engineering internship, do that instead. But yeah, all right. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.